Can you hear everyone else?
Hear me. Welcome to Call of Cthulhu, Masks of Nyarlathotep. I am your keeper, and I get to torment these wonderful people here with me today, and I have been so excited for that. However, we do not have too much time, so we'll go ahead and let these wonderful people tell you who they will be playing tonight, and we will start with Ricardo.
Yeah, I'm Ricardo, and he's a Spanish professor studying both the occult. Uh, most of his time gets spent on the occult and a little bit of history. Uh, but yeah, he's a bookworm. He hasn't spent too much time outside of the college since becoming a professor, but he likes to read about the natural world a lot. Not get his hands dirty.
All right, next up, Florence.
Hello, everyone. I am Mama McStabber, and I'll be playing Florence Buckley. She's a dilettante, a 40-year-old bored widow with way too much money and time on her hands, and she's just looking for something to do.
All right, next up, Jasper.
Hey, my name is Glyza. I will be playing Jasper today, and Jasper is trying to find himself. It's been 5 years. He still hasn't really found himself, but he's trying. He's trying real
All right, next up, Georgiana.
Hey Mari, I'll be playing Georgiana tonight. She is a librarian who is out looking for new knowledge. We'll see where that takes her.
All right, next up, the good Dr. Angus Irons.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Inkblood Demon. I'm playing Dr. Angus Irons. You can just call him Gus. I'm pretty smart. I'm exceptionally lazy. I love alcohol and sleeping. Something, part of a secret society, something. I'll be dead in like 45 minutes.
All right.
No,
And
50
now,
minutes.
and now that our investigators have been assembled, I ask for you to follow me as you all find yourselves standing in a dimly lit corridor of a hotel. Ahead of you is a hotel room door bearing the number 410. As you knock on this door, you hear a muffled cry and movement within. A sense of dread befalls you as you realize something terrible lies beyond this door. But a moment of hesitation, you push the door open to see what lies within and your destiny. And our screen fades to black. We rejoin our investigators as they enter Bar Cordano. It is a balmy 75 degrees, though the humidity makes it seem much hotter. You all have been told to meet with your expedition leader, a man named Augustus Larkin, here for dinner. And I ask you, Dr. Angus, what do you look like this evening?
Well, I have a dress shirt on that is got the collar open. There's no tie. I don't believe in them. I'm sweaty. My beard's crazy. My hair's crazy. I might be handsome. Maybe. I'm just. It's like somebody poured me out of a glass of water. I'm just existing, sticky, just looking around for food, something to do. Why is it so damn hot?
Alright. As you are searching for sustenance and a way to avoid the heat, you make your way over to a bar where you see a gentleman already seated, already receiving a small glass. Jasper, what do you look like this evening?
Jasper is a handsome, I'd like to think Southeast Asian man, specifically Filipino. He is wearing what the modern world would now call as a tank top, but it's a white. It's hot, so he wears this nice, clean, white tank top and very nice pair of like khaki shorts. I do not know whether this is time appropriate, but Jasper's always been ahead of the curve when it comes to fashion.
All right. As the two of you sit down or make your way over, there is a man behind the counter. It looks to be Spanish in descent, and as he looks at you all in a bit of not quite broken English, but clearly someone not confident in their English. What can I get for you?
Cooler temperature. Whatever
Right.
the house special is, my good sir.
All right. Alcoholic or non-alcoholic?
Let's make it alcoholic.
Non for me.
Okay.
Also, if you have like a specific lemon that I'm looking for, technically it's lime. If you have that, that'd be great.
I too am interested in these limes.
All right.
Lime and Peru, right? Sure.
Special type
All
of lemon.
right. And you
Leave
see
me
he
alone, Ricardo. You're not even here.
It
He
begins.
steps away from you and goes to open a refrigerator in the back, and you see him start pulling things out. You see him pick up a few different fruits before looking at what he thinks is a lime. But it begins to prepare your beverages. It takes him about a minute before he returns, and he looks at the two of you. Are you here with the other foreigners?
Probably.
Yes, we are waiting for people. Maybe they've arrived earlier.
The people for the pyramid. Are you
Yep. Yep, the pyramid people. You got us pegged.
okay?
Yep.
Mr. Larkin and two others are in the back area. If you can join them whenever you like. Mr. Larkin has already arranged for a tab to be made available for you and your fellows, friends.
Thank you. I'm going to take my drink, and I'm going to put down a healthy tip, and I'm going to look at Jasper and say, it's nice to meet you. I'm Dr. Angus Irons. Please just call me Gus.
Nice to meet you, Gus. Jasper.
Can I call you Big J? I like to give people nicknames immediately upon meeting them.
You can call me whatever you want.
Okay,
Oh,
whatever you want. I'm going to call you Big J.
All right. As you two are settling up your issues, two people enter the bar, one right after the other, both women. Georgiana and Florence. Would you like to tell me what you look like this evening?
Georgiana's a young woman in her late 20s, very early 30s. She has attempted to put herself together, but with the humidity, her hair is very just kind of escaped whatever she was trying to do with it today. She's not dressed very elegantly. It looks like she's tried at some point, but she's kind of keeps flipping through like this little book on animals and reptiles from South America. She has bookmarked the page of anaconda because she is convinced she's going to find one and is very excited about it.
And I imagine Florence has been talking with you about this anaconda as we're walking in. Florence is a woman who's about 40 years old. She has perfectly coiffed golden brown hair. She's wearing a red drop waist, calf length dress, has pearls around her neck, and her makeup, although her face is a little glowy from the heat and humidity, it's still in place.
I have heard that there should be anacondas in the Amazon when we are traversing through it. I don't know if we will actually see one, but I am hoping. It would be remarkable.
Well, if we do, I will make sure to take a photograph of it.
Did you get a camera?
Oh, yes, I have it with me.
That would be amazing. I could then, if I could get a copy of the photograph, I could place it on my wall. I have a little adventure wall that I have started. It's mostly just got pictures of my trip to New York, but I am very excited to add more to it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful.
Where were we supposed to meet everybody else again?
I thought it was here.
As you begin to look around, a man who looks to be dressed in a very Western suit, but you can tell looking at them, they are attempting to look more better means than they are. There are the tie is a bit crooked, the cufflinks are in the wrong spot. But as you all look around, he walks up to you both. Excuse me, ladies. Would you happen to be here as friends of Mr. Augustus Larkin?
Yes, indeed.
See, he and his compatriots, Mr. Elias and Mr. De Mendoza, are waiting in the back room. They told me to let you know there's a tab available should you need to refresh yourselves or eat anything you like.
I would love a gin fizz. Would you like something, dear?
Oh, yes, that actually sounds rather refreshing. Yes, I will have the same.
I will have it brought over immediately.
Thank you.
Georgiana's flipping back to the letter she stuck in the book just to make sure she got his name right as like Mr. Lark. Yes, it was Mr. Larkin.
All right.
And once we collect our drinks, we'll head to the back.
All right. And as our group begins to form, Mr. Ricardo, as you are arriving at the bar Cordano, it's slightly after 7, about 7:05. What do you look like?
Well, Ricardo, it's warm out, right? And it's dark, so there's no need to be ostentatious and wear a hat. Could be doing it, it's just a style preference. But I don't think he would. No, he saves that for when he has to brave the wilds. No, he's going to show up with wearing a nice pair of leather shoes and his dad's hand-me-down mohair suit.
Okay. As you enter, you take a moment, you look around, and you realize you are one of the few foreigners in the bar. Is there anything you wish to do before you are led to your companions?
Well, unless somebody's leading me to them immediately upon entering, I might, if I don't see anybody I recognize right away, go over towards the bar to get a drink.
Okay. As you approach, you see the bartender, and for just a moment, you see a anxiety kind of go across his face as he takes a breath. Hello, what can I get for you?
Tequila.
Okay. Ice, no ice?
What do I look like? No ice.
Okay. And he steps away, and he's much faster with the drink this time, and as he kind of places it on the table in front of you, he goes, would you be here for the foreigners?
What do you mean?
Oh, there's the pyramid expedition, Mr. Larkin, Augustus.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. Yes. Where are they?
They are waiting in the back room over there. A few people have already gone back, so I do think they may have started already.
Excellent. He's still waiting for his drink.
He passes the glass to you.
Okay. So he's okay. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just take it and go.
Okay. As you all are slowly filtering your way in, you all see the same 3 people waiting for you. All seated kind of in a U formation around a singular table. One is an African American man, very nice top hat, with a pipe in his hand that he is in the middle of filling with tobacco. Across from him is a man who you think is Spanish, so his complexion is very pallid, and he looks almost angry as he sits across from the African American man. And then sitting in between the two of them is a man who looks, for lack of a better word, unhealthy. His clothing sticks to him like he's been working the entire day. His hands have a noticeable tremor. And can I have you all make me a spot hidden roll, please?
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
The gin fizz has gone to my head. I did not see squat.
Was there anything I should have put on that? Because it just says.
I rolled it for you, but I don't know what you did wrong on that, actually, Georgiana. I don't know.
You know what? We're just
started.
at. I'm just
So,
gonna leave Roll20 alone.
I
I'm trying to
believe-
remember how to use this ridiculous character sheet. With
You just click on the thing.
click on which
Yes,
thing?
make sure, click on the
On
button,
edit.
make sure your edit mode is turned off, though.
Ah,
'Cause if
why
you
is
have
it?
edit
All,
mode
it was,
on, it
yeah,
won't.
yeah. Okay, that was my problem. All right.
If we fail, we mark it, right?
Yes, if you have failed the roll, you mark it. If you wish, you may spend luck points to reduce your roll by an equal amount of points, which could help you succeed if you so choose.
Could we also push the roll?
You could push the roll for certain consequences. All right.
What does it mean when you push a roll?
You roll again, but if you fail, something bad will happen. It represents you are attempting harder at whatever the task is. In this case,
Yeah.
noticing something.
Which I mean, in some
I'm
cases,
going
right?
to-
Yeah.
I'm going to, since it's only like 26 versus 25, I'm just gonna make it a regular success with 1 luck point. Correct?
Okay, that's good. So, it looks like Georgina, Jasper, and Ricardo have succeeded. You all smell this very strong cologne. But for you three, it's very faint, but you smell decay. And it's coming from Larkin. It's this it's almost like it's like decaying meat. Excuse me, you all must be everyone I've been waiting for. My name is Augustus Larkin. I am put together this wonderful little expedition. Please take a seat. I don't know if you've been told, but I've taken the liberties to pay for your food and everything you may need for the evening. I've also arranged for your living arrangements, but we get into that a little bit later. Please make yourselves comfortable.
Do you mind if I just stay over here by the door and stand here? I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, and I would like to just stand. I've been sitting for so long, you see. As long as I can hear you.
Of course, whatever makes you all comfortable. Forgive my rudeness. As I said, I'm Augustus Larkin. This here, my associate here, is Luis de Mendoza. And this here is Jackson Elias. He is a folklorist from New York. I believe. So hopefully his talents will be very useful here today. I do not mind the pleasantries, but I found that most people prefer to get right to brass tacks, as they say. I plan
One
to
moment.
visit.
Actually, I interrupt. Is that my good friend? Is that Georgiana? My librarian friend?
Gus, what are you doing here?
Sweating, drinking.
Oh, so not
I-
much has changed for you.
I don't sweat typically very much. That's a horrible lie. Anyway, I'd give you a hug, but I don't want to cover you in the water, my body water. That's what sweat is. Yes. You can tell that he has probably had some drinks while he was waiting as well. Well, I just wanted to make sure it was you. Because it'd be weird if it wasn't. And then I'd be calling somebody who didn't have it. You get what I'm getting at. Please continue, Mr. Augustus.
As well, it is good to know you all are well acquainted with each other. Hopefully that'll make our job
No,
that
I
much
only
easier.
I have no idea who everyone else is.
Well, would you all like to introduce yourselves?
Florence Buckley, also from New York.
Jasper Mendoza. We share a last name. Originally from the tropics, the Philippines.
I'm Ricardo Castellano. I'm a professor of occult and natural studies. But this is a little more natural as he looks towards the window than I'm used to.
Well, it sounds like we have quite the cast here. I hope to see how all of your abilities are able to help us. So the plan here, I will be forced to leave. We will be heading up to the Highlands. I believe I've located the site of this pyramid. We will, of course, be doing this for archaeological reasons, although I expect that there will be plenty of wealth and fame in equal measure for all of you. I don't know much about the academic fields, but I imagine this could be excuse me. I imagine this could be an excellent opportunity for you to expand your abilities and reputation there as well.
Well, I'm an archaeologist, and I've only been doing it for a couple of years, so if this goes well, I can retire and be rich and famous and do nothing. God, I love doing nothing.
Well, I believe we will all be crossing our fingers and hoping for that result as well. Just to show you a bit of, proof. And you see he reaches beneath the table and he pulls out two items. One is a square pendant with a man holding two rods, one in each hand. The other is a golden cup covered in geometrical patterns and circles and then inlaid with turquoise throughout. If any of you have the archaeology skill, you may make a roll.
I will make a roll.
I have the
I will
appraise
make-
skill. Can I appraise those items?
You certainly can.
Or at least attempt to?
I have
Certainly
a
roll.
single. I have 1 point in archaeology. Can I?
You can hope. Go for it.
I'm going to
Hope is
roll
important.
art praise as well. It's not very high, but I want to see.
Oh, I failed. Shocked.
Ah,
Yes, I'll have
Okay,
to-
so let's see. So we'll start with the appraise roll. Florence, looking at these two items, you think they are pretty expensive, or rather, they'd be worth a good penny. You can tell that you would need to find an appropriate buyer, someone with interest in this region. But you can definitely see, based on the age of the metal, they seem to be genuine articles. For Gus, with a hard success, you notice the same things that Florence does, but there is something else that draws your attention. The two items before you are not from the same time period. One is looks to be from Tiwanaku, probably dating to the 5th century, whereas the second, the cup, is Incan in design, probably from the 15th. You aren't
Is that the
sure.
15th?
15th century, yes.
Yep.
You aren't sure how he would come across these two items, but you are pretty confident that they are both not from the same place, let alone the same era, let alone the same place.
You found this in the same area?
Yes, specifically, there was a farmer, not too far from the area, who sold them to me. He said that his father entered the pyramid, but was frightened away before refusing to go back. And I believe with the information provided by said farmer, we can get there without much issue.
Can I speak to the farmer?
Unfortunately, I agreed not to mention it to other people. I specifically, he is a rather what's the word? Just, afraid of the locals and
He's a wary
of
man.
rumors. Yes,
Understood.
yes, thank you.
I understand. It's just that how do I don't know how to say this without coming across as a massive asshole. There's a better chance of those being from the same there's a better chance of me turning into a gigantic flying pig that can speak Latin and tap dance than those two things being from the same area. One is from the 5th century, one is from the 15th century. There are many centuries apart. I'm not good at math, but I am quite confident in such a declaration.
As
Well,
you
I'm rather good at certain math, and I can tell you right now, if you find the right buyers, that will definitely go for a pretty penny.
I love pretty pennies.
As you are speaking, Dr. Angus, you notice for the first time, De Mendoza turns toward you, and he doesn't speak, but I would say all of you can get this feeling of animosity, this almost tangible hostile intent before Alarkin places a hand on De Mendoza's elbow. Well, it is good to know that the people around here are as talented as I had hoped. It is entirely possible that Mr. Marlowe had received two different inheritances from different ancestors and just confused the two or connected the two in his mind. But I'm pleased to know we have such an distinguished expert amongst our people.
Oh, I'm not distinguished. I'm just a guy. Just a sweaty guy. That's another sweaty guy. My God, you're all pores.
But as you say all of that, Jackson Elias takes his pipe from between his lips and he goes, Mr. Larkin, would you mind sharing your research with us? If Mr. Irons, if Mr. Angus here is as talented as he's shown, it may be good to recheck all the details before we get going. And as Augustus hears that, he nods.
Keeper.
Unfortunately.
Keeper. You mentioned earlier that Larkin smells kind of decaying. Can I do a study or like a way to like look deeper into that? Does he look like he's sick? Does he look something like that?
Do you have first aid or medicine, Jasper?
I have 40 in first aid. Yeah. I can try.
All right, I will say you can make either a first aid roll or you can attempt to make a hard spot hidden roll.
No, I'm
Does
gonna
he
do
seem
first.
to be? Does it seem like it's real?
Like, is it
Does he
coming
feel
from
really
himself?
unusual?
Like, it's scary.
You, from what you can tell, you can tell that the scent is coming from him, though you aren't sure if it's an object or if it's his general person.
I'm gonna do a first aid check just to see.
Go for it.
I noticed. Did I notice the smell too, or not?
I'm going to use some luck points here to bring that down to 40.
Okay.
what did I
As you kind of look over him physically, you realize this is a very sick man. You can just barely catch out his veins are discolored and almost black. But as he's been talking to you, his fingers are trembling. He's been forced to kind of stop to wipe his face or to cough into his hands. Jasper, you aren't sure what it is, but you can definitely tell this man is very sick.
Okay, thank you.
Was there another roll? I don't think so.
No, I just clicked on the thing wrong.
Okay.
No, I was asking you if I noticed the smell too, or if it was more just Jasper.
No, it was Jasper, Gus. It was everybody who succeeded on that spot hidden check earlier.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't think you were one
I
out.
think.
Or were you?
Did I roll? Oh,
Well, if you were, you would have noticed.
I did.
So go ahead and check that.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. Then
I-
you would have noticed the scent as well. So,
okay.
back to Elias's question. Unfortunately, I was forced to destroy my paperwork. Once I decided to go public with my find, it was a bit of a risk that someone may steal it and then beat me to the pyramid, of course. But no need to worry. I assure you, I've got everything up here. And I will assure you that I will be able to guide us to the location and back without any issue.
Can I insight check that statement? I will say I'm inclined to believe him because archaeology is notoriously competitive.
I was gonna say the same thing. I'm like, I don't know how much I trust this guy who smells of death. And
You can both make psychology rolls.
Okay.
Oh, that's what it is. I'm sorry. Insight check.
Can I roll that as well?
Yes, you can.
Success.
Anybody who wants to make a psychology roll can.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that as
blindly
well.
believe.
Okay, goodness.
What does my natural inkling tell? Bullshit or not bullshit?
Damn it! I'm always so close. I'm just gonna make that success anyway.
Are you going to spend luck on that, Jasper?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the three of you who succeeded, you both can tell that he is telling the truth about his motivations. It is not uncommon in the time period that you know that people would try and race each other to expeditions like this. I will say, with your extreme success, Georgiana, you get the feeling that his story about the farmer is not entirely true. You can't put your finger on exactly which part is wrong, but it doesn't fit right, especially with what Dr. Angus told you earlier. It doesn't. You can tell he's not being completely honest with that.
Noting
Mr.
that.
Larkin. Mr. Larkin,
Yes.
that I distrust that you can bring us there and back, but are you feeling okay? You don't look
I assure you I am all right. I am suffering from the consequences of previous malaria episode, but I am all right. The unfortunate weather here is not exactly agreeing with my constitution, but I assure you I am as fit as a horse.
I do not believe you, but I don't say that out loud.
Oh, okay.
So I have also arranged for any necessary supplies for the expedition to be loaded onto trucks, and we will be leaving on Monday. So you all have the rest of the weekend to do as you see fit. If there's any other things you need to purchase or think that we need, please feel free to purchase it. If you can provide a receipt of purchase, I will reimburse you, of course. But I will tell you, we will be taking trucks from here to Puno, and then after that we will travel with beast of burden. So I would recommend taking the time to prepare yourselves for what could be a rather long journey. It could be a week or so total, and then a
Have
week
you-
back.
Have you considered traveling by hot air balloon? I've heard it's quite efficient.
I've heard of this as well. I've heard you get a really nice view, and you get there,
Safe, efficient, cheap.
You
But don't you
certainly.
just kind of go where the wind takes you?
Well, hopefully the wind is taking you towards the pyramid and not away from it.
The
But
world is
also-
round. You make it back.
I had,
I hear
we
it takes
had
8 days.
considered. we had considered the idea, but unfortunately, the amount of supplies we need to carry, as well as an utter lack of hot air balloons in most of South America, made it a very unlikely opportunity, unfortunately. And while you all are asking about a hot air balloon, Jackson Elias goes, you mentioned we'd be leaving on Monday. What time? No, Costas goes, yes. We will set out early in the morning, just a bit after first light, on the 21st. So, despite whatever it is that you all may decide to do, I do need for you to be back here, back at the Hotel España as soon as 8 a.m. Ideally, an hour or so earlier, but other than that, your time is yours. Are there any other questions?
I think you've been very thorough. I would like to, no offense, I'd just like to meet my new, well, I know Georgie, or as I like to call her, King George. I'd just like to meet my new compatriots.
Well, as much as I find our conversations are enlightening, I'm starting to feel a bit exhausted, so I will excuse myself from your company to get a little bit of an early night. Excuse me. And as Larkin and De Mendoza leave, can I have anyone who wants to make a spot hidden or medicine roll?
Can I do first aid instead?
Sure, it'll be harder. You'll need a hard success, but sure.
Alright. That's a failure. It's fine.
Okay.
Oh,
What do we
that
do
a
when we've
failure.
marked a failure on on the spot hidden? Does that affect anything with this roll?
No, it will. It'll come in at a later date, towards the end of the
Okay,
season.
no problem.
Okay, it looks like our friend Gus is the only one. Gus, as you've noticed, as Larkin gets up to leave and as he's been talking, his complexion has been growing paler and sweatier, and now the hand. Oh, Georgiana, you as well. You both notice that the slight tremble in his hands that had begun is now a full-on tremor. He's having a hard time keeping his hands steady, even as he goes to kind of push the chair out to get up.
This is going to be rare, but I don't say anything about it.
I am going to wait as he nears to pass the door, and I go, please take care of yourself. I see death in you.
Your concern is appreciated, but I assure you, after a good night's rest, I will be fit as rain.
Be careful.
And you all are left with Mr. Jackson Elias. Is there anything you all wish to say?
Jasper's gonna go turn to the other person that stayed behind. Did you ever meet him when he didn't smell like that?
No, I can't say I have. This is my first time meeting with Mr. Larkin.
This I'm gonna assume our first time as well, correct?
Never seen him before.
Yeah, he smells like death.
Very ill.
Very strange.
Do not
well, I'm
smell.
going to be a little. I didn't take a habit of smelling people, but there was a faint something there. If you all don't mind me being a little bit forward, How much do you believe about what Mr. Larkin just told us?
Oh, I'm certain there was at least half true.
That much? You think it half?
I think about half.
I was guessing a third,
It might be that.
somewhere in the middle.
Maybe.
Call it
I
43%.
Yeah,
I
that
like you.
sounds good.
43%
think
truth.
I would think a man like him in his condition, while searching for riches is laudable, he's probably looking for something else. If he's already got the money to fund an expedition like this, his life
Whether or
is
not
going to be more
that.
important. Hmm?
I think you're correct. If he could drop that much money in it whenever he wanted, it isn't riches he's looking for.
Hmm.
No, he's looking for either some belief in extending or saving his life or a legacy maker. Many rich people, the resources they have doesn't buy what they truly want, and that's being a little special person that everybody knows about.
Well, I'm going to show a bit of faith here. And reveal a bit of information I've learned since I've been here. I've been here for around a month or so, give or take. My true name is Jesse Hughes. I am an author. You may have heard of me in the more culty matters. I've come here under a pseudonym to find out what I think is a death cult in the area. From what I've heard, Mr. Larkin has attempted to recruit some of the locals to explore this pyramid, but no one was willing to accept the offer, which is why he seems to have gone to recruiting foreigners, people maybe who aren't too caught up in rumor and superstition.
Well, he found an archaeologist. That's all. No, that might be. See, I'm trying to work on. I say these things, and I don't mean them to be rude, but they're kind of rude, and I'm working on it. Mostly because Georgie hits me when I'm too rude. It's strangely strong.
I absolutely do not.
Your right cross is powerful, and it comes out like a bat out of hell.
The last time I told you there was a fly on your cheek and I was aiming for it.
And you punched me in the throat from behind. I don't know.
I
mean, on the
really
stairs.
Now,
bad.
Georgiana, I knew I liked you when I met you.
Don't talk trash. She acts rash. That's the saying. I just
Dr. Angus, you got some splaining to do.
no. There was nothing. I couldn't talk. The air left my throat. The only reason I lived was actually I don't know. I woke up 3 hours later. But the point that I'm making is
You landed on the carpet, which was fine, and we're just glad you didn't go completely down the stairs. You kind of just stopped when you hit the wall.
Yeah, that's right. Just the 3 flights of stairs, and then the last one was carpeted. Is the way you lie by omission. Is anyway. I am so tired of talking about how I got thoroughly stomped, and the likely concussion that I most likely had. The point that I was trying to make is I don't remember. I need another drink. I just go off to the bar to get another drink.
Mr. Hughes, I am familiar with some of your work.
Oh, well, that's good to find people who are curious about the more darker subjects in our history. I don't mean to alarm you all, but there is a very serious chance that we are going into at least some danger. I've been hearing some people in Puno been mentioning that that Mendoza is a Kariciri. Of course, the Kariciri were vampiric monsters from legend, but it's more likely that they are involved.
You're muted.
We didn't hear that last part.
I think he's muted. I think he just shot his mic.
Oh no.
Oh no!
All right. You have to say right now that we can't have the hot air balloon, otherwise we get it. 3,
Yeah.
2,
2,
1.
1. We have a
Balloon
hot,
in the.
How that works.
There he is.
All right, you guys should be able
Now
to
after
hear me.
our commercial break,
I must have unplugged the microphone on accident.
Okay.
What was the last part you all heard?
we heard that something about you giving us a hot air balloon.
No.
Yeah, that was it.
Well, I just repeat the whole thing.
Okay. I'm
I
sorry.
don't.
Get distracted.
Everyone's all right. I don't mean to be alarmist, but there's a chance that we are being led into genuine danger here. I have heard from some other people, some of the locals in Puno, that De Mendoza may be a CoC7e. The CoC7e, for those of you who are not too well known, the mythology of the region were these sort of vampiric creatures that sucked body fat from people. However, I pay no attention to the superstitions. I think it is more likely that they were a death cult with roots to the 16th century conquistadores. I don't mean to make anyone afraid, but there's a very real chance we may be in some danger.
I've never been much of one for violence, but is there a place to buy weapons around here? Better to have something than nothing, I suppose. I wouldn't. I'm not a fighter. I'm gonna die, aren't I?
I would not panic so soon. I believe there will be an opportunity to buy weapons of all sorts in Puno. I met a few people who do go hunting and the like, as well as some miners for other needed equipment. It may be difficult to get it while we're here in Lima, especially on short notice. I have a scheduled meeting with Professor Sanchez from the local museum and university tomorrow morning, if you all wouldn't mind joining. He has been attempting to get involved in the expedition, but oddly enough, Larkin has refused to even speak with the man.
If you're meeting with him, are you going to tell him that Larkin is taking us to the pyramid?
He's aware of the expedition. I believe his knowledge may be helpful, just in case we find ourselves in need of either the true location of the pyramid or any information on this cult or any other dangers in the region.
Just like death cults?
Yes, the very same.
I would love to go.
Well, I think getting the scope of the, what universities are like down here would be amazing.
I have no other plans.
All right, then I look forward to that meeting. We can meet at the either the museum or the university. They're one and the same, really. Around 9 a.m., if that's all right. Have you all been? I assume you all have not been to the Hotel España before, or the Hotel
No.
Mori.
No.
Well, I can guide you to the Mori. Our rooms should be available. It is of decent quality, though I'm afraid the New Yorkers may be a bit disappointed. It's none of the high flute and stuff, exactly.
Don't worry, I didn't expect it.
All right, if you all are willing to accompany me, we could go now.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, of course, Ricardo says as he strolls over to the bar and asks for a shot of tequila after finishing his glass.
Florence is going to hang back a little bit to Jasper and Gus and be like, did Mr. Larkin look a little thin?
He's
Oh, go
probably.
ahead. Yes. The way that his hand, I don't know if you saw, but when he got up, the hand went from like the small shaking to just, it's like an earthquake was in his hands. I can't say that I have any affection for the man. I don't know him, but I do worry about his health.
I worry that he will die while he's showing us before we even arrive towards the pyramid. And that is my concern.
Oh, then we just throw money at the situation and take over his thing and steal the whole. Yeah, that's how archaeology goes. Yeah, that's literally how that's how it goes. That's what you do. Does anyone have like a bunch of money in case that happens?
I mean,
Florence pointedly
sure.
ignores that question, and she literally says, if his companion is one of those vampires that supposedly suck body fat.
Wait, what? Vampires? I must have missed that part when I was out in the other room drinking. What vampires?
Yes, that's what our folklorist here told us.
Interesting. So
I maybe it's just this. I don't know if it's really them. So, maybe it's just a way of people believing certain things. I don't think they're actually vampires.
Is there a place to buy like? Is there like any markets that are open at this time of night, like on our way back?
No, nothing. No proper stores at this time. At the time that you have finished your dinner, it's probably closer to 8 or 8:30. So it's going to be hard for you to find things to purchase this
Gotcha.
evening.
Oh well. We'll have to get up. We'll have to get up before the expedition leaves to do that.
Lawrence,
Yes.
do you forgive me if I'm being forward, but do you believe in vampires and things of that nature?
Well, I don't know if I necessarily believe it, but if the people believe it, there's a reason they believe it.
See, that's where I'm at with it too. What I've found is that oftentimes people add tall tales of things that they can't explain, but there's at least one grain of
There's a
truth to
kernel
it.
of truth in it.
To it. Right. So somebody says, I was attacked by a werewolf. No, it was just a massive wolf. Or
There's always a reason for superstitions.
this is true. Oh, I was at first just hoping I could use this as a one and done for my career, but now I might actually have some joy. I would imagine, I posit that the vampirism is secretly some type of insect or bug that latches into somebody and slowly drains them like a tapeworm.
Like a parasite.
Yes. Or maybe some type of snake. Maybe a vampiric anaconda.
Well, I will certainly have to get a picture of that if we can catch it.
Probably not a vampiric anaconda. That seems like a redundant way. Yeah, it's just, I could get a better view from that from a hot air balloon. But the point is, we could absolutely make so much history down here. I am so happy.
Well, first we gotta survive.
Oh, just bullshit it. That's how you do it. Isn't that right, Georgie?
Well, I think always having a plan usually comes into to help, but I'm fairly certain we're not getting the whole story. I don't honestly think there was a farmer that he got those little items from at all.
No, I don't believe it. But we have so much talent here in this little group of adventurers. What could possibly go wrong? I foresee a smooth, successful, safe journey, expedition, perfectly fine. And if that's not how it goes, then my name ain't Dr. Angus Irons.
And Dr. Irons, how many expeditions have you been on?
3. But I'm
Okay.
30, so that's quite a lot.
How many have gone smoothly without any incidents?
2. The third one I am not legally allowed to speak about for the next 6 years.
I see.
And I cannot go to a... You know what? We'll talk about that one a little later, maybe.
Okay.
But 2 out of 3 went exceptionally well.
More than 50%. I believe that, statistically, this is going to be a good one.
So, if I might ask, I am the boring man who digs in the dirt to find the things that's covered with dirt. That's all archaeology is. It's quite pretentious, but that's the core of it. A little bit of history in that takes you far. Florence, what is your specialty? You said taking pictures, your photography.
I have a variety of hobbies that can be useful.
The way you say that lets me know that you don't want to further indulge my question, and I'm
Well,
going to respect that.
I have read some of this fine gentleman's books. I have participated in various seances and things, and I also do have a keen interest in photography. I'm well trained for equestrian activities. Yeah. And well, I can generally talk to people pretty well.
The way that you use your words, I find to be both soothing and interesting. So that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Big J, my new friend, what is it that you do?
I'm rich and bored.
I am that too.
Oh, so you're the folks who fund the archaeologists. Okay, I understand. Florence, I'm working on a nickname for you. I haven't quite come up with it yet, but I nickname people usually.
I'm sure you'll let me know.
What about no, I'm 80% there. Big J, I appreciate your candidness. Ricardo, you said that you were a academic of some kind.
How far away is the bar from where we're at? Not very far, right?
I am always at the
No,
bar.
you're within the same. You're within the same building. I would say like 30 seconds would be just to walk back and forth.
Yeah, it's just a couple of years ago I started this professorship in Spain, and I thought somebody told me this would be a good opportunity. I imagine, there would be some danger, with the wildlife, maybe some animals or bugs to watch out for, but not cannibals. He throws back the helo shot.
Oh, cannibals. Oh, well, that's fine, because and I kind of like tap my pocket and I go, this is what we use for cannibals, and it's a very comically oversized revolver that I have. You shoot them.
Well, you know how to shoot things with that?
Approximately.
What that mean, approximately?
Well,
Either
approximately.
do or you don't.
I reject your dichotomous interpretation of language.
Okay, so you don't know how to shoot, it's to scare. I see.
I reject your accurate statement, which is significantly more accurate than my shooting capabilities.
And Georgiana, I heard mention that you were a librarian?
The greatest librarian, third best in the world.
No, we all know Dr. Miller would tell you otherwise. Yes, I am a librarian at Harvard. I am on this expedition because Dr. Miller says that I need experience if I want to be able to transition into teaching into the classrooms. So,
we met at the University of Chicago. She's the greatest. Dr. Miller is a hack.
I appreciate that sentiment. I will forget that you knocked over my card of books.
Okay, that actually was your cat.
I don't have a cat.
I know, that's why it was so strange. Damnedest thing. Georgiana, if I'm being honest, how do I say this? I'm incredibly lazy, and I am not a man who has met my talent or capabilities. I have failed upwards through money and my family's connections, and Georgiana has been so gracious as to, what's the word I'm looking for, other than hit me a lot, provide wisdom, and sometimes just drags me out of bed and made me go to class. So my successes that I have, which are humble but are tallied, are largely due to Georgiana, who will be recognized as the greatest librarian soon. Dr. Miller, absolute clown show.
We all know that Dr. Miller's tenureship. I will not get started on that man.
Tenure is just a way of saying old and not dead yet. That's all tenure means in academic. Like I was useful for 7 years, and then I just sat around and collected dust.
This expedition will go well. We will do really well. We've got broad talents, and I will see an anaconda. Hopefully on a hot air balloon, but that seems to be a dream, maybe for the next expedition.
Well, my lady's maid should have already secured our room, so I will wish you all a very good night.
Good night.
Oh, Florence,
Okay.
might I ask one thing before you depart?
You may ask, and I may answer.
Thank you. Does the Midnight Society mean anything to you?
Not the slightest hint.
When I say that, it's almost like I'm not looking at Florence, I'm looking at the folklore gentleman to see if it means anything to him.
Roll me a spot hidden or psychology roll.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely spot hidden. That psychology is trash. Oh, do I want to spend the luck? No, I need that for you to try to kill me. I'm not spending the luck, I feel.
I am being blamed for so many things. You don't think so? You don't notice any reaction or anything?
Okay. Well, Florence, if you find anyone who uses that vernacular, would you please let me know? I'd be most gracious.
I'll consider it. Have a lovely evening. And she
About.
goes up to her room.
Okay. As you all are, you all will be together for a brief time in the Hotel Mari, but you all do have your own rooms. Is there anything that you all wish to do with this night before we wrap it up? All right.
Is it possible for me to just sort of like walk around and just try and see how long Larkin has been staying here? Like,
Larkin is
heard the
at the.
locals are just so basically, I just want to vibe check what the locals think about Larkin.
Okay. All right. So two things. Larkin is at the Hotel Espana, and you guys are at the Mari, so they're different. If you wish to go to the Hotel Espana, that would be a separate thing. If you want to get an idea of how the locals are feeling, it's a bit late at night to kind of go around and to speak to people.
I wasn't because the thing that was said earlier was that he's tried to talk to a lot of locals to go into the pyramid, and I was wondering if there's anybody awake now. Just because it's nighttime, people are a little bit more tipsy, a little bit more open to talking. And I just wanted to see if there's like any local at all that might be a little too talkative and willing to share some insight on Larkin and his assignment.
That would be better to do during the day. At the evening, at this hour, in Lima, there would not be a lot of people who are wandering about at night. If you were to do so, you would be more likely to come across, let's say, less reputable types of people. If you still wish to wander the streets, you are more than welcome to do so. But your goal is more of a daytime thing.
All right.
Okay. Then through the magic of editing and time compression, we will be rejoining you all early the next day. I said earlier that the meeting is at 9 in the morning. That is incorrect. It is at 2 p.m. So if you all wish to do anything or have conversations in the morning, you may. If not, we will skip to the time of the meeting.
I will do the morning. I will do it in the morning now, since you said
Okay.
I couldn't do it at night.
Yeah.
That
And
is
also,
good.
Ricardo is going to go looking for local, I don't know, food market, whatever. And maybe whatever passes for a hardware store here.
Okay. If you're trying to get the vibe of the people, I would say roll me either a charm roll or persuade roll. Looking for a basic hardware store, Ricardo, you could find something like that easily. And I would say if you're looking for, I would say any hardware type item you could find without issue. If you're looking for guns and the like, that would require a roll.
He mostly wants to get some basic things because he mostly just brought clothes with him and stuff. Uh, to be more some stuff that he was told was better for being out in the jungle. He brought that stuff with him, but he needs other things like machete. He's thinking especially just both for practical and possibly defensive purposes, even though he doesn't know how he might use it in that situation, other than just swinging wildly and screaming.
Okay.
Maybe he could also he might make a play to look around for a gun, but he doesn't have much knowledge or experience with them, so may have.
Okay. Make me a luck roll. You will be able to go to a hardware store and buy basic survival gear. You could buy tents, mosquito nets if you really wanted to, things like that.
Yeah.
Jasper,
That's
as
right.
Yeah, I
you
Charm.
yes, as you go searching for information, at first the locals are receptive to you, but once word starts to get around about you, and specifically about your last name, you find that they all stop talking to you. And not only do they stop referring to you, you catch people actively avoiding you.
Wow.
I will say that Florence and her lady's maid go out in the morning after breakfast to go about the town, see what's in Lima because it's her first time there, and do a little bit of shopping, nothing specific really. They generally brought what they needed. And she's going to talk to people, see what she can get.
All right, make me a charm or persuade roll.
We will go with charm. That's an extreme success.
Okay. With an extreme success, first, you find that the mood of the city is actually pretty happy. You find, and I would say you would have learned again a little bit of this information before arriving, that Lima is on the upswing. It is recovering economically and is becoming a bit of a tourist destination. But as you and your maid are spending time with more and more of the locals, you begin to hear rumors of missing people. And at first, the rumors sound a bit more like people who are sneaking away. You hear about a couple who just happened to disappear to avoid a wedding arrangement that wasn't beneficial. But
So
there's
that's an
one.
elopement. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Well, there's one that sticks out to you. There's a rumor about a person, one of the students at the university, that had been asking questions about Augustus Larkin, specifically disparaging the foreigners that had been coming to the land to, in their words, steal their valuables. And then that person just disappeared one day. From what you've heard, they didn't tell anyone. They didn't mention anything to the university. They just, almost like a ghost in the night, just disappeared.
would she be able to find out where that student resided from this gossip?
I will say with an extreme success, you can. You know that for the academic term, they were living in Lima, but they were living in Puno on one of the islands in the middle of Lake Titicaca as their actual address.
She will make note of that so that when they get to their next destination, she will follow up.
All right. Was there anyone else that wished to do some information gathering this morning?
Well, I mean, I failed my luck roll, so I definitely am not finding any guns.
No. Unfortunately, this is not America. There are not many guns for sale.
Yet. I would probably walk around the local restaurants and the bars for maybe a little while, but I would try to find some place where I could make a library use check. Because I want to go over these rumors of vampires and cannibalism, and also maybe some studying on anacondas. But from an academic standpoint.
Would it be okay if Georgie tagged along? Because that is what she wanted to do too.
Sure. That'd be a lot of fun.
Okay, so the information you want, you'd find at the museum, that basically the university museum that you're going to. So you both are able to get in and visit their library. I would say make me a library use roll. And the better the success, the better the information you'll gain. Okay, 2 regular successes. Doing your search, you are able to find rumors of the CoC7e. Specifically, they are. It is believed that they were related to the conquistadors when they arrived. They always, in the myths, they are always described as Europeans, white men, blue eyes, almost always men. And they are known to kidnap people and either feed on them by consuming their fat or turn other people into them. That usually involves something called the kiss. There's no real description in the books you found that describe what the kiss is, but it is always described as being kissed means you become one of the hungry. And a bit of this is a bit difficult because a lot of the things you're reading are translations from Spanish to English, so you aren't sure if some of the meaning is being lost, but that's what you gain with regular successes.
Okay. Georgie,
Yes.
I know you've spent a lot of time babysitting me, for lack of a better word, in the past. And it's not going to be like that this time. I promise.
I have never babysat you before. That was university days.
You know damn well I wouldn't have gotten any degree except 3rd degree alcohol poisoning, but for you.
I was deeply concerned for your liver.
I'm deeply concerned for my liver. My liver's deeply concerned for itself, but it's not going to be that way. I want to say I've matured, but I haven't. But it's going to be different. I can do what I always talked about. One big discovery, live off of it, and just lounge around for the rest of my days, do whatever scholarship I find interesting, and lead a leisurely life. None of that hard academic stuff, none of that midnight society stuff, none of it.
You should look at property in England. I hear a good country gentleman life is very nice over there.
But I like food, so I don't think I can go there.
Italy?
I like food, so I'd probably die within 3 years. Yeah, no, Italy. Yeah, Italy would be pretty great.
So like, just hypothetically say that these vampires are like real. Did Mr. Larkin have blue eyes at all?
I succeeded on a spot hidden check on him. Did he have blue eyes?
He did, and so did De Mendoza.
Him and De Mendoza did. Vampire. They're out in the. Vampires aren't real, Georgie.
You never know. There's plenty of stuff we haven't found in this world.
I am more open-minded than most, but cannibalistic folks who are vampires.
And again, maybe they're not actually, undead legion. Maybe it's
a disease, a condition.
Yeah.
But then they wouldn't be a true vampire. You know that I try to cut things, or I try to meet things in the middle. So I suppose so, but that wouldn't be real. I don't know, Georgie. I'm just, you know what? I feel like sometimes I'm a vampire, and I'm a vampire on your time and energy. So I'm gonna be.
No,
I'm gonna be better.
Never.
I'm
never.
gonna be better. That's
Never.
a lie. Then you wouldn't hit me so much if that weren't true.
You just need to be really good at ducking.
Oddly enough, I'm not. After all these years of practice. Anyway, it's gonna be fine.
You should probably then, since you go on these expeditions, watch out for very large boulders.
Well, that's fair. But how do you duck a boulder? I don't see the connection.
Find like a little spot to like squish down in.
What?
Let it go over your head.
Go over my. I'm too
adventure
sober
novel
for this.
I read.
Okay, that's fair. I mostly read the history books. We're gonna get through this together. You're gonna have a great career. You'll be the new Dr. Miller, but actually good at your job. I mean, he smells of mothballs and sadness. That's all I'm saying. And then you can come visit me in Italy.
Perfect.
How do you have a read on Jasper or Ricardo or Florence? I like them, but I don't trust them.
Miss Florence seems very nice. She's
too nice.
Well, people. I find that the people of the upper society of New York are very nice.
They use
Ricardo
as a weapon. They use manners as a weapon.
No. That's what I do, and what my family from Georgia does. Like,
no, you use fists and bullets as weapons. I've met your mother.
My mother is a proper lady. I will assure you that you startled her the last time. Jasper and is he a doctor? Is Ricardo a doctor?
He's a professor, I believe. He is a doctor.
So Dr. Castellano, I don't know. Like, it's very hard to get a read on them. Like, I feel like Jasper's rich guy vibe might be a shield, and
I trust Big J. Anyone who doesn't reject a nickname from me immediately has a 90% chance of not betraying me. That 10%'s a doozy. But
I keep trying to tell you to change mine, because I was not dressing as King George. I was Eleanor of Aquitaine.
Okay, then you really fucked up. The crown and the cuffs.
No.
Those are also men's trousers. I mean, you just did a shit job. There's just no two ways about it.
My sister sewed it for me because I don't sew.
Yeah, there's a reason why you don't sew, because it doesn't run in the family, that skill. Anyway, at all. And I didn't startle. You remember everything. I didn't startle your mother.
What
startled me was that stew that she gave me. Okay? Cooking. That ain't a King Georgie family line either. Southerner that can't cook. Anyway, I like Ricardo. He seems like a nice enough guy. I don't think I trust him to shoot a gun. He didn't trust me with a gun.
I don't trust either one of you with a gun.
Well, what? I'm an American. I have to be good with a gun. It's what we.
I think we are running late.
Yes, I'm just gonna. Anyway, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna be toned down. I'm not gonna insult anybody. I'm gonna be on time. I'm not gonna drink as much. I'm gonna be a button-down professional. This time it's gonna be different.
I will hold you to that.
Oh God, I'm so screwed.
All
You absolutely
right. All right, and with that, I believe our investigators are all coming together for their meeting. But for now, we are going to take our break, so we will come back in about 15 minutes to continue this story and see just what's going on in Lima, Peru. Right, hello and welcome back to our Mask of Nyarlathotep campaign. So, as we rejoin our investigators, the five of you have met up with Jackson Elias, and you all have been guided into a ground floor office belonging to a Professor Sanchez. He is a man in his 40s, short hair, very nice suit that you can see just from the humidity alone that it's kind of beginning to stick to his body a bit. But as you all are kind of entering into his office, he looks at you each and goes, "Hello, I had not expected quite so many of you. I am assuming you're all with Larkin's group."
We are.
I take it that you all were looking for more information on the pyramid. First, please make yourselves comfortable. The room isn't designed for large amounts of guests, but any hospitality I can give you is yours to take.
Thank you.
Well, Florence will have a seat.
Well, I suppose
Jasper
I
takes
should.
his by the door position again.
All right. And Jackson Elias is standing against the open door as well, next to you, Jasper. Well, I suppose I should start at the beginning. I have reached out to Mr. Larkin multiple times to share my expertise on the region and culture. Unfortunately, he has not saw fit to respond to my messages. My concern and my fear is that he is primarily here to loot our treasures, as many other foreigners have done in the past. These grave robbers are. There's no laws to prevent it, unfortunately. I have attempted to locate the pyramid in advance, and I believe I have done so, or at least to a certain region within a few miles. And I have a student of mine, Trinidad Rizzo, looking into the university libraries for me. She should be here to join us soon. But we have located a document dating back to the 16th century, written by one of the conquistadors, Gaspar Figueroa, who details a odd situation. Of course, a lot of it is hidden in superstition and rumor and such, but I believe it might be useful for your situation should you reach the pyramid long before I am able. Is there any knowledge that is specifically that I could share with you?
What's the chance of running into, I don't know, angry natives?
I would say it's not very likely. Most people, especially in the region, are hardworking types. They primarily care about, feeding their families, tilting to the fields and lakes. Fortunately or unfortunately, superstition gets in the way most times, so I believe it's unlikely you will encounter anyone who is particularly invested in stopping you from going, if that's your concern.
Well, I wouldn't think anyone here in town would want to stop us. We, as you say, superstition, rumors. I'd heard some things about the others in the woods or the jungle, if you will.
Well, there may be people between here and Puno and maybe even outside of it, but as you get further from the cities, you will come across fewer and fewer people, and the people you will come across are less likely to speak English in any form. So, if any of you are good at Spanish or Portuguese, it may be useful.
I'd hope we have some type of guide here. I know somebody needs to translate for Jasper.
That's
I
true.
have a bit of knowledge of the language. Jackson Elias picks up. Go ahead, Jasper.
Oh no, I was saying that I have Spanish as a language, so I can speak
Well,
quite adequately.
it
Good.
sounds like you all will
Makes
be
two
in
of
good
us.
shape. And at this point, Jackson Elias kind of steps forward a bit. Um, Excuse me, Professor. What can you tell us about the rumors about the CoC7e on missing people? I a bit of a theory about it, but I'd like to know just what kind of danger we may be getting ourselves into. And Professor shakes his head. Unfortunately, there are still many people still ruled by fear and superstitions of old legends. My working theory, you may say, is that it's designed to scare people away from the pyramid. It is not uncommon that important sites like this are religiously motivated, and it is often better to tell people to avoid a location, and over time, lessons to avoid become things to be afraid of, and everything needs a monster to be afraid of, and CoC7e seem to be very good, especially when you combine the history of the conquistadors. They were not exactly gentle people, but I would not pay too much attention to them outside of there being rumors.
Professor Sanchez, what do you know about Luis Mendoza?
Oh,
Luis de Mendoza.
he's a quiet man. I don't think I've ever heard him share any words. He does seem to be rather aggressive in his defense of Mr. Larkin, but I can't say I've known the man well.
He seems to strike fear among the locals. Have you noticed that?
I have. It is most likely that it dissolves from the rumors of European adventurers or European people being connected to the CoC7e, but I have been told that Mr. Mendoza is rather has a very what's the word overactive anger. He is not exactly a kind man.
How so?
Oh, I've heard that he has a habit of where others would seek diplomacy and discussion. He tends to rely more on intimidation. I've not encountered him too much myself, but some students have mentioned he has a way of his physical presence being used to cow others.
So he's a bully. He's a bully and he doesn't hate violence.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm being partially employed by Oh, god damn it. Okay. You had made a point, or the point was made of the pillaging of artifacts. Let's just call it what it is, just under a more sanitized name. I'm an archaeologist by trade, and I need to come out of this with something so I can live the life that I want, but I don't want to take most or everything. So hypothetically, of course, in a way that would not break any agreement I have with a employer or business partner, depending on what you want to call it, what would you do in my situation? And don't say take nothing.
I understand the desire for material wealth. It is a part of being human, if the philosophers are to be agreed with. I would humbly request that you all remember that these are still our people's history. It would be
Okay.
wrong for us to travel to England and to start pulling the bricks out of the ground. If you must take things, I would humbly request you at least to offer to sell them to the museum, or where
How
they
about I
can
do
be
you one
properly cared
better?
for.
I'll do you one better. I mean, I'll do that, but I'll try to do you one better on this. They showed us proof of their finds yesterday. They had artifacts that were incongruous, that were not. There's no a 5th century piece, a 15th century piece. Presuming that those are somehow all in this pyramid. Maybe the answer is I just take things that don't belong to your culture.
That is interesting. That is, well, I will trust your judgment.
Nope, no, you shouldn't, because I'm a decent enough guy. But the problem is that you don't. How could you possibly know that? So if you have a stake in something or an idea, say it now, lest you be the slave to my whims. And I am quite whimsical. Whimsy is what I am made of.
If you all,
Damn it, Georgie! I'm trying. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do my
Even
best.
Flo raised an eyebrow
I
at
can't-
that.
I can't help it, Georgie. I just talk, and then the words come out. You know what I mean, Georgie. Interpret. Flo, you know me well enough. I didn't
Ricardo's
notice.
just sitting
I
here
didn't
like-
notice that you were eating. I'm so sorry. Flo, you've talked to me for 15 minutes. You probably speak fluent Angustian.
Absolutely. He's absolutely full of bull hockey.
I don't like hockey. The Chicago Blackhawks aren't very good right now, and it's not. I'll do my best.
What's hockey?
As
An awful
whatever
sport
that
on
was
ice.
Feces.
happens, as whatever that was happens, Elias stands up and you see him kind of poke his head out the hallway, and then he goes, "Excuse me, Professor Sanchez. You mentioned your student would be joining us. Should she have been taking this long? It's been. No, I don't mean to be rude, but." And Professor Sanchez interrupts him. No, you're quite right. She should have been here by now. Knowing her, she's probably become distracted by something, but I'm sure she will be with us soon.
Well, perhaps she's gone missing like Domingo did.
I have heard of this. Do you believe that the Domingo situation is related to, well, and then Jackson, as you see the professor just kind of going through a train of thought, Elias looks up and goes, if you don't mind, I can go and search to see if Miss Trinidad is all right. If any of you five would like to join me?
I'll join
I
you.
would. Since we're
I-
standing next to each other.
I'll
go.
do it.
I see no reason not to.
Let's have a
Oh,
Oh,
That's
so
what
we're
I
all
do.
leaving.
Yeah. Why not?
All five of you are going. All right. Professor Sanchez very quickly pulls out a small post-it note and just quickly scribes down a makeshift map to the storeroom, and he hands it over to you. It shouldn't. Some of the hallways can be a bit labyrinthian, but you should be able to find it easy enough. We'll wait here just in case she returns.
What does she look like?
Oh, darker skinned, more bronze, very nice, curly curly hair that was usually very well cared for. She dresses somewhat like your companion Georgiana here.
And her name?
Trinidad Rizzo.
Perfect. Thank you. We'll go ahead and look for her and see. Make sure she's okay.
All right. As the six of you, plus Jackson, are moving, who is in the lead?
I would assume the person who started all this.
Probably nearest. Jackson would be in the lead, and then
I
I
would
will
probably
be-
be walking by Jasper
yeah.
because Flo is really a little bit peeved about this situation with students going missing.
Ricardo's just looking around, and he has a new. He's today, since we're leaving on the trip, in more of a what you might think a kind of classic archaeologist outdoor get up type of thing. He was told these were comfortable for this environment.
Oh,
Like
thank you for saying.
kind of like burlap type clothing. Not really burlap, you know what I'm talking about, khaki shit.
What are you wearing?
All right.
That's not what we do. The suits and tie.
As
I
you
jungle?
all-
Sorry, I hang
As
back
you
with
all-
Costalo.
Okay. So you two are in the back. It sounds like Jackson is leading with Jasper and Florence close behind. So, as you
Yes.
all leave the professor's office, you step into a kind of tight staircase. It is long, dimly lit, and leads into a corridor where you can see on the opposite end is a door that is half open, the only source of light coming in. You don't hear anything as you approach. The storeroom is very long, maybe 80 feet or so. Is there anything you all are doing before you arrive at this door? You see Jackson Elias reach into his suit jacket as if holding something.
I'm gonna do an insight or not a psychology roll on. Actually, no, I do a listen check. The more I think about it, yeah, I do a listen check.
Okay.
I'm going to keep an eye out, like just around us, just to make sure we're not surprised by anything, you know.
All right. Listen and spot hidden then outside.
Right.
Trying to think.
Oh, well.
Okay. All right.
Just
You
searching
all-
around. You said I could listen? Yeah.
Or
Yeah, you
listen
can
or
make a
spot
listen.
hidden.
Okay. We'll give it a listen, see if we can. Oh no. It didn't work.
I did spot hidden.
Yeah.
Okay. As you all are walking, you approach the doorway when, Georgiana, you notice something just in... Okay. Okay.
I was trying to find my cursor.
Okay. As you are approaching, Georgia, you catch sight. You realize as you're getting into the light of the door that some of the boxes on the shelves have fallen over. You can just barely see it as you're getting close. For
Whoa,
you,
whoa, 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 whoa.
Florence. Oh, go ahead.
Boxes. Be careful.
For you, Florence, as you get close enough, you pick up. It's so faint that it's almost mistaken for wind. But you realize it's gasping, as if someone is struggling to breathe.
Someone's hurt in there. Get in there. And she pushes the door open.
As you enter, you find the body of Trinidad Rizzo. Her skin has become almost desiccated, as if the muscles and the fat has been removed from her form. And in the center of her chest is a 5-inch hole And as you step into that room, you hear the last breath of a dying woman. I need you all to make sanity checks for me, please.
I'm about to say the last breath. I'm surprised you weren't dead already. Like,
So I just
Hit the sanity button.
well,
success.
Okay. Which is the...
Awesome.
Double check the number.
Same.
Okay. So did everybody but Ricardo fail? No, George
No.
succeeded.
Yeah.
Alright, so for those of you who succeeded, you lose 0 sanity. For those of you who failed, roll me a d6, please.
To save my sanity for reading the crazy books.
Oh, sorry about that. Meant to edit it.
So do we just edit the first number or the second number too?
The first one. Alright. If anyone, the number you roll in the d6 is the amount of sanity you lose. And if anyone loses 5 or more, let me know. As you see this horrific scene, I need you all to make me a spot hidden check. See just what else you pick up. Ooh. You've got a fumble.
Oh,
Wonderful.
extreme success.
I lost 4 sanity and fumbled, baby.
You can see the flea in the middle of her viscera.
So, this is what happened.
Yay.
As you all are looking over it. For you, Florence, as you see this scene, you see something in the box next to her. But as you go to step towards it, you slip and trip over until you are laying almost side by side with poor Trinidad Rizzo. To be nice, I will say you don't lose more sanity from this because it's early. I don't want to punish too much.
Okay.
But you find yourself laying next to a dead woman.
And Flo's legit crying.
That's tough. For the rest of you, you notice next to the body is a small wooden crate that has been smashed to pieces. And inside of it, you see what looks to be like a large piece of gold that has been smashed and worked together to fit almost in the size of a weapon with these ornate geometric symbols spread throughout. And as you're looking at it, for you, who was it that the extreme success? Ricardo, you see there are bits of burned flesh connected to the gold.
And by connected, you mean like it doesn't look like it was just there as a byproduct of going through a body?
Almost as if someone attempted to grab it and was burned.
Okay. So I'm picturing Indiana Jones reaching into the fire and grabbing the amulet.
Alright, so what do you all do?
I grab Flo.
Thank you.
I feel like Gus and George, you both were like, oh no.
Ricardo's like, ew.
When I go and I get Flo, I respectfully give her an arm up. I check to make sure that she's okay. Are you all right?
I'm fine, thank you. I appreciate the assistance.
I know you don't need it. But...
No, I did. Thank you.
Well, now, please let go of my arm. Wait, whose arm is? Oh, that's my arm. Sorry, a little weirded out. I've never seen a dead body before that wasn't like 500 years old. Everything's okay.
The last one I saw was my husband, and it sure didn't look like that.
Oh, was he 500 years old?
No.
Okay. I believe you. I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna sit.
Are you okay, Dr.
No!
Angus?
Absolutely fucking not.
She takes a flask out of her bag and hands it to Gus.
It's not water, is it?
No, it's
Oh, thank
gin.
Close enough. And I take a big gulp. And I hand it back.
Just pounds the whole thing.
No, that would be how good quality is it?
It's very good gin.
Oh god. Oh, you mean real gin, not okay.
No, it's not hooch. It's real gin.
Oh. I'm from Chicago, the bootlegging city. Anyway, I'm gonna sit over there and shut the fuck up now. So, good luck. Oh, I soiled myself, and I just go sit.
Can
I think
I
he's gonna
have
need more to drink.
Can I have everyone make a track roll, please?
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, yeah, that was gonna be a failure.
Where is that roll?
Track.
It should
order.
be.
It's right under throw.
bottom.
Yeah. Look below spot hidden.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Look at that failure.
We're all failures.
But it was so close.
Yeah, it's so
What?
far.
All right. As you all are panicking over this dead woman, Jackson,
Literally.
you notice that Jackson Elias has squatted down about a half a foot away from you all, and he looks towards the opposite side of the room. I think we might have a problem. Do you
Right
see
aside
here,
from-
this looks like a footprint that is going that way.
What's
Back
the
to the
problem?
professor.
And as you say that, you see Jackson kind of freeze and takes off in that direction.
I'm gonna go follow.
Jess, let's go.
Dr. Irons, can you get up?
Yes, I can. Georgie, are you coming with us?
Yes, I'm coming. Oh my goodness.
All right, stay in front of me so you punch him and then I'll shoot him. Or no, I'll shoot him and then you punch him. Whatever, just move.
Florence takes a handgun out of her bag and says, "I'll shoot them. Y'all get yourselves straight."
I pull out my 45, which is just so massive in my tiny hand, and I go, "I'll help shoot them."
Does anyone take the large chunk of gold with them?
Georgia, get the gold.
I got it. And she's gonna take out her handkerchief from her purse and pick it up with it.
All right, so you go to pick it up. It's pretty heavy. It's around 25-ish pounds. You were able to do so.
Put it
And
in your
as
purse.
you grab a hold, it's cold to the touch.
She's gonna try and get it in her purse if it fits.
It's about 2 feet long. So, if you
You know-
work really
you know, I
hard,
need to put it
you
in one
can
of the
angle it
crates
a
and
little
carry
bit.
She'll carry it out and then do as Miss Florence suggested, stick it in a crate and carry it from there.
Okay, all right. It takes you a minute, but you get it in the box. You all are off to the races. Going this way around, you notice, is a bit longer. It's almost like you have to go towards the front of the building before circling back towards the professor's office. But as you return, Jackson and Jasper are the first to see it. As you enter, you find Professor Sanchez laying on the ground, his face covered in this waxy mucus, eyes wide open as if in shock. And as he sees you two in the doorway, quickly followed by the others, he goes, He kissed me.
Ooh, what?
Mendoza?
As you ask more questions, he almost immediately starts to convulse. Can I have spot hidden checks, please?
Yeah, I was also gonna say, do I need to make like a first aid check or to like see if there's anything that can be done to try and like immediately help him? Oh, success. So I guess I succeeded at the spotting the hidden. That'll
George?
probably play into the next part. Ooh, extreme success.
Okay. As you are looking, you see it almost looks like his stomach begins to kind of pulse and move. Almost, what's the word? Undulate. Undulate? Yes. Do you do anything? Actually, no. Hold on. Before anything else, I need you guys to make another sanity roll. I almost forgot about this one.
Because of Rosemary's Baby is not normal.
Oh no.
Oh no, Ricardo failed too.
Oh no.
Oh, I guess Georgiana's the
Roll.
only one that's
Like it's hard. It's hard to fail with a 90. But I made it. I did it.
If you succeeded, no sanity is lost. If you fail, roll a d2, and that's how much you lose.
D2.
Not a d6, a d2.
How do you roll a D2?
Slash roll 1d2.
Slash roll 1d2.
Oh, of course I get 2.
That's not at all what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, sorry, my sig fell on the number pad.
Oh, that's
Is it
not so
space 1d2 or is it all one command?
Space.
I'm
So
not
it'd be
sure if
slash roll and then 1d2.
As I say, I wasn't sure if it really mattered, but
There we go.
either way. I always just have a space.
And the number you roll is how much sanity you lose. As you see this almost bulb
I lost
moving,
5.
undulating in his stomach, what do you do?
Ricardo would like to try and make a. Well, Ricardo also he's both a machete and a hunting knife, but regardless of that, he wants to try to like suss out if he thinks there's anything he can do first aid wise.
Sure, make me your first aid roll. You can also make a medicine roll if anyone wants to.
Hard success.
Okay, all right. With a hard success, it's difficult as you've never been in this situation before, but you think whatever it is in his stomach, you need to get it out of him. So, apologies to anybody who does not like to hear the word, what's a better word of saying? You need to get him to remove the contents of his stomach.
Get him to throw up.
He needs to upchuck.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Though some people do not like that word. I don't want to mess with the word. But yes.
Ricardo's gonna like relay that information. He needs to throw it up, whatever that is. I can't. What do we have? Does any? He's looking around.
Use
for
your
something.
hand. I'm gonna open
Open his mouth and
mouth
poke the throat.
Oh, I was gonna fist his mouth, but I suppose that
That's
also
not gonna.
works.
That's not going to work.
The fist isn't gonna fit in there. You gotta use your
need to go in
fingers.
I
the
have
back
small
of the throat.
hands. I'm running for president. No, I
I
try to
will
get
say,
him.
in the interest of not turning this into the worst doctor drama ever, with a hard success, Ricardo, you know how to go about doing this in a way that will not hurt him more. So, as this happens, but you see what can only be described as a slug forcibly be removed from his mouth. And you know what? I'm going, because this is the first one.
I was gonna.
do with
When I
him.
see the slug drop, I would probably just reflexively try to swing a machete at it.
Okay, so two things are going to happen at the same time. As the
shoot it.
slug come out of him, it hits the ground and immediately orients onto Georgiana, and attempts to rush at her.
Can I drop the crate on it?
I was gonna say, how fast does the slug rush?
It is very fast. It is very fast. So I will say Ricardo said that they were already going to swing. So if you want to swing, make me I would say a brawl roll. Throw would be if you're trying to drop the box.
I'm gonna
onto
shoot it.
Okay. Firearms. Firearms.
Where's my fire?
Yo.
No,
Go ahead.
Well,
Failure.
we'll see.
not
Oh
a
yeah,
shock.
no.
Let's see if I have-
Where is the firearm? It's not in fast.
It's literally on your skills. It's over towards the right.
It- It says
You
yeah,
click on
fighting
which
and then
one you have.
firearms. Yeah.
Ah, got it. Okay. Handgun. Damn it! I'm gonna use my luck to get it to success.
I will also use my luck.
So that's
Let me see. Do I
Yeah,
have
I
it?
need a lot of luck to do that. So
damn it. Forget that. I'm gonna just change it.
Alright, I'm just gonna roll it for it then.
Ricardo misses and dings his machete off the ground.
All right.
That
Well,
thing
it,
is
it
fast.
did worse. It did much worse than you guys. So, who said they were spending luck to get a success?
I did. Both
All
of
right,
us.
and you're both shooting at it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Roll the damage for your gun. It should be on the combat section of your sheet.
And we just click the gun.
Yes, it should do it on its own. Damn it. All right, damage of 3. What about you, Jasper?
Give me one moment. What do we do again? Just roll it?
On the
Just
on the
click on the
combat section.
handgun.
Yeah, on the combat
Oh.
section, there should be your weapon there, and then click on it, and it'll tell me the damage.
Oh. Even if it's a success? It was a...
Yeah, I just
No,
need
not-
the
not on
damage
the
roll, not
skills,
the
on the
hit
combat.
roll. So yeah, on
On
the
the
combat
actual-
tab,
There's weapons listed, and you click the weapon.
let me see. It might not have. 6. Okay. Two. You both shoot at this slug as it's almost touching Georgiana. That's how fast this thing is moving. But
Nice.
between the expert marksmanship of the two of you, it is dead. And as you see, the moment that the bullets touch this slug-like creature, it dissolve into this stinky white substance, this almost body fat-like substance.
Ricardo was like turns back after missing this slug. Did I get it?
No. But we did.
It's dead.
Where'd it go? Is
It's that pile of yuck.
Ew.
Georgie is just very shakily sitting right down in the nearest seat to her.
Gee. You did great. You know I have a sensitive stomach.
There's a flower pot over there.
Perhaps you should invest in a bucket.
She's looking at the professor. How does he look?
He has passed out. From what you can see,
I thought you said
he-
pass on. I was like,
No,
I was
no,
about to say, damn, did he
out.
die?
He's out unconscious. He is very much still alive,
The
but
slug
he
pushing
has
up out of
lost
his throat.
consciousness. You can see around his mouth are what looks to be acid or caustic burns, as this slug seemed to basically burn its way out of him. I would say, for those of you with first aid, you can tell that although he is alive, the internal damage is likely pretty severe.
What could I try to roll first aid? To it's a good idea of how he needs to be treated.
I would say at this point you've done all you can with first aid. It's in the domain of medicine now. So if anyone wants to try and help him,
and Florence is literally going to say he needs to get to the hospital.
I rolled medicine, but I failed, so I'm not sure what to do with him. But hospital sounds like a good idea.
you just double check to make sure failing a medicine roll doesn't make the situation worse?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so. Well, you know, we'll be nice this time and say
Well,
it doesn't.
I'm not the only one that failed it, right? Like, well,
Yeah,
I am the
that's
only
fine.
one that failed it.
Guess-
Yes.
Guys, don't kill him.
Is
together.
there like a old telephone in this office at all?
Yes, there is a phone, and you will see that either you or Jackson can make the call.
Georgie's just gonna pick up the phone and just see if the operator can connect her to the hospital.
It
Or, like-
takes a bit of effort. I don't believe Georgie can speak Spanish, so it takes a little bit of collab. Well, can she speak Spanish?
It says Spanish under her languages, but it's got like a
Oh,
one
if
next
you-
to it.
Oh, what? No. One means you like read a Spanish to English dictionary on the.
I
way
translate.
here.
I translate because I can speak Spanish.
So it takes a little bit, but together you all are able to have authorities sent over. My question to you all is: are you staying here for their arrival?
Well, I mean,
I would.
yeah, I say we're not going to just leave him here and be like,
Yeah, not just gonna leave him.
somebody is having a problem. Please help. Bye.
All right.
Georgie will take the opportunity to pick up the crate with the bit of gold in it and like hide it behind a couch or something.
All right.
Now you're
All
thinking
right.
of portals.
Okay. So, are there any conversations you all wish to have before the authorities show up? They will start to take the professor as well as poor Miss Rizzo away.
I am actually going to talk to Mr. Hughes to find out if we can find out where else the tracks went.
From what I saw, they disappeared around this area, but we could go and look. Maybe there's some faint traces around outside.
Let's do that.
All right. So Jackson and Florence are leaving. Anyone else going with them?
I'll stay here.
All right. So, Florence and Mr. Elias. Does Florence have any skill with the tracking ability?
She's got 10 in it.
Let's see if all four Elias.
But if there's
got it.
anybody standing around that might have seen someone, she could talk to them.
All right. So first, roll me a track roll. Let's see what you get.
No, we're not getting anywhere near that.
No. we all know this is not at our schoolhouse. All right.
That's not her wheelhouse.
Roll me either charm or persuade. They get the same information. Just depends on how you decide to go about it.
We'll do charm.
Okay. An extreme success.
She's very
so,
charming.
Very much. So together, you, Jackson, and did you bring your maid person with you?
No, she has left her at the hotel until they are ready to depart for the next city.
All right. So you and Jackson, you attempt to follow any signs of footprints, but you very quickly give up on that. But together, you all are able to question a few of the locals, including a young boy, maybe in his 13 or 14, who is eating what looks to be a handheld bowl of, you aren't sure what it is. It's kind of like a meat seafood dish. But as you find him, he goes, "Oh, there was one of the foreigners went that way a few minutes ago." And you see he points towards Hotel España in the distance.
She thanks the boy and gives him some money.
He is very happy to receive the money. Well, to spare us the complicated financial things here, we'll say it's enough to be good for a young teenager.
He can buy some new shoes with that.
Yes. Yes. And as the boy kind of leaves, Jackson looks at you and goes, I'm pretty sure that's where Mr. Larkin and his associate are staying.
Absolutely, it is. It
Mr.
seems Mr. Larkin and his associate don't want anybody knowing what they know.
Starting to think you're right. The others aren't here, but we could go and take a look and together if you want.
No, I think if we are going to go face down some monsters, we need to have everybody with us.
All right, well, let's go and rally the troops. Okay. So, while they are gone, the rest of you, what are you doing?
Georgie's gonna like look over the office to see if like anything would have been like left behind at all, like to give a clue on who the attacker might be.
Ricardo's gonna try to do his. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
As you look around, you see the carefully kind of maintained room has been torn asunder. Books are thrown about. The desk that he had been sitting at has been almost completely flipped over. If you want to see if you can find anything in this mess, I'm going to need a spot hidden roll.
I got it.
Excuse me.
Can do.
Okay. Looking around, you don't see anything that tells you about the attacker. There's no last written things. But you do get the feeling, now that you're taking the time, someone was looking for something here. At first it looked like it was kind of tossed over in the struggle, but you see that some of the drawers have been pulled out, but the paperwork inside has been more carefully gone through, as if someone went through each part searching for something.
She's gonna check the drawers to see if there's like a false bottom or anything in it.
Alright, as you're going through the first one, the second, the third, it isn't until you get to the bottom drawer that you notice a small notebook. And as you are going through it, you come across, where is it? A letter. Hold on. I must pull it. You come across a text written by a Gaspar Figueroa in 1543. And as you're looking at it, you realize that this isn't so much as an original, it's a summary. Someone has taken the original, you think someone took the original document and has translated and condensed it. And as you are going over it, you find that there was a man named Gaspar Figueroa who set out with a few other conquistadors to find their own fortunes after a man named Pizarro was assassinated. And let me see if I can just go ahead and share this document with you so you can read it.
Notebook and all is going into her purse until they're all able to like go over it together.
I have shared it with you on the Roll20. And it will be up to you to. I will share it with the whole group. Once you make it clear you decide to share it with everyone else.
She'll share it the instant like the professors and everyone else is gone, like, and they're all back together.
All right. So we'll say it's going to take about 45 minutes for the authorities to come. Angus?
So I don't know if you would allow this. I just saw the weird hole thing in Trinidad's chest, and then the whole "he kissed me" slug, white-faced thing. I was wondering if I could do a one-size-fits-all natural world check for all of that, or if you wanted me to, or if I could do them individually if you preferred.
What information are you looking to gain from the roll?
So I'm trying to figure out, what was that slug? What ailment does it cause? Is the vampirism real? Because my whole basis of thought is that these folk stories are fake, but there's a grain of truth for them, and that's the angle that I kind of analyze everything with. So I'm just trying to do a compare and contrast, or just anything really. I'm grasping at straws.
Okay, roll roll a natural roll check. We'll see if you know of any creatures that would fit these descriptions.
Hard success.
All right. You are scanning your memory, your recollection of any of the predators of South America, really, and there are creatures that fit individual aspects. There are slug-like creatures that are acidic. There are even creatures that could conceivably cause a hole to be burned and to be bitten into something's chest. But there's nothing that you know that connects those things together. So either this person was attacked by multiple things at the same time, or it is something you know nothing about.
Do I know anything that like could get into the stomach as well, or does that go like from the chest into the stomach? Is that what you're saying? Because I saw the whole like the stomach's moving and it's the puke.
I would say you wouldn't know of any animal that would do that or be able to survive after doing that. It is something very unusual.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Keeper.
All right. So the authorities will arrive soon after. It'll take about 45 minutes to get statements from the four of you, as well as for them to remove the body and the bodies and get Mr. Sanchez someplace where he can be taken care of. Is there anything that you don't tell the authorities?
Probably our thoughts on our employers.
Okay.
Georgiana will specifically leave out the 2-foot-long gold stick that's hiding behind a couch and the letter and notebook she found.
Sure.
I was just going to ask you about that. All right. So, we will say you all are able to reconvene at the bar Cordano where you first met. And as the six of you come back together, I leave the scene to you all.
Well, this has been a very busy morning. Not a good way to start a trip.
No, and this. So I was digging around in Professor Sanchez's desk, and I found this notebook and letter, and she'll hand it over so that it can be passed about so everyone can see it.
Jasper, could you read this, please? I'm not fluent in Spanish.
Yep. And I do read it out loud. But the summary is this Spanish letter was written in 1543. It mentions different men, Figuera, Hernando Ruiz, Diego Garrido, and also Luis de Mendoza. It talks about an ancient temple filled with gold. Maybe the same one that we're going to. And how Figueroa's companions, specifically the one that, we are aware of already, Luis de Mendoza, turned into death-like creatures, gaunt and death-like creatures, hungry. But yeah, and then I do translate it completely, so if you guys decide to read it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Florence looks over at Gus and says, "Still don't believe in monsters, Dr. Irons?"
Oh, Florence, you make me sound like I'm just some blind skeptic. I will tell you, I was going through my thoughts about all these different possibilities, and I can think of creatures in South America that might burrow into a stomach and then die, or might have acid, or could get into somebody's chest. I can't think of anything that can do all of that, at least quickly. So I'm
And
left
hop right out and try to find the next target.
I can also tell you that we've never in the known world come across anything like that. So I would ask this of you, Florence. There's one lens of analysis that tells me that my training and my scientific mind is correct, that this is just simply a new breed of creature. We saw a slug of some kind do it. There's another lens of analysis that says that this is tied into something much more nefarious
And older.
and older.
1543.
1543 is quite old, almost as old as Georgie's grandmother, he says weakly, trying to make a joke, and it just it
It doesn't land.
It doesn't. It he knew it was dead on arrival. Ah,
The
I don't-
look as she sips her drink she gives him is just like deadpan.
he's
Lands like a belly
oblivious.
flop on the pavement.
It's that goes down into the gates of hell. No, he's completely oblivious to it. Like, he's trying to be himself, but he can't quite do it. So my answer is I don't know, Florence. I have a question for all of you. Clearly we've been employed by, and I whisper, horrible people. Do we continue to work under them and try to sabotage? Do we abandon ship? Do we go home? What's the right thing to do?
Knows. Do you think he knows that we know?
I don't. Yes, I do think he knows that he knows, and I think he wants to know if we care.
Well, I can tell you that a kid on the street spotted one of the foreigners head back to the hotel they're staying at.
I don't think he knows we know.
Isn't it safer to presume that your adversary, because I view them as they are my enemy. They stand for everything I hate. I hate the grave robbing aspect of what I do, and it makes me a hypocrite, but I hate it. And I also don't like, you said something about a missing kid, Florence?
Yes, one of the students here was speaking disparagingly about Larkin and the foreigners with this expedition, about how they're going to basically pillage the treasures and take it for themselves. And that kid went missing.
Yeah, they killed him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just, I just presume the worst, and I usually am right. Go ahead.
Have you ever heard of her stories of men who steal treasure from temples and they get cursed, and the way to resolve it is to return the treasure?
Yes.
Basically Pirates of the Caribbean. What if this is the same situation? What if they're trying to steal, and then I point at the gold that Georgiana has taken, and is like, and they're trying to return it so that their curse would be broken? What if it's that kind of situation?
What if we do that and we... Oh...
I can't help but feeling we're walking into a trap.
Well, my father once said, very famously, by that I mean at the dinner table, fire burns all. He was referring to my attempt at cooking, but, let's just burn him alive.
Professor, did you have something you wanted to say?
Professor
Cordano?
Castellato?
Oh, he's been intently reading the book,
Okay.
trying to looking at the journal, trying to because he feels like he has some sort of, he remembers seeing this talk about a city of gold somewhere, but he just can't put his finger on it.
Thank you, Jasper, for translating the text.
Well, I think we need to make a choice here. We could pretend that we don't know much of anything and look for a way to stop Mr. Larkin, or we could go and pay them a visit today and see if we can get to the bottom of exactly what's going on. Might be more dangerous to wait till later because we'll be away from the town, away from the city, and it is not uncommon for people to go missing on these types of trips.
Well, I imagine there's all sorts of terrible things that could happen in the jungle. Forget the cannibals.
Oh god, Florence, you're going to just love me saying this. Let's say it's all true. The vampires, the curse, the cannibalism. Stop smiling, Florence. You're enjoying it too much. You're enjoying it too much, Florence. Trying to kill a slug vampire, gold, greedy, cursed king. I think I've combined all the potential possibilities there. It's probably harder than we think. If we play dumb and they're not onto us, we have the advantage. If they're onto us, we're easily separable. Bad things can happen in the jungle. Nobody misses missing people in the city, let alone out there. So we're playing for the highest stakes if we don't turn and tuck tail right now.
Well, I'm almost certain somebody would miss Florence and Mr. Jasper. They are
Oh,
wealthy
please. My
individuals.
children are just waiting for me to die so they can get the rest of the inheritance.
Spend the money.
That's
I
what
knew
I'm
you were
doing.
loaded. I knew you were rich. Lawrence, I knew you were rich. Damn it.
Didn't
what
say
I'm
she
doing.
wasn't.
I didn't say I wasn't. I
She
just
ignored
didn't answer.
she ignored my probing of words.
Because you
How-
lack subtlety.
I
How
do
about-
lack subtlety, but I
How about we
possess
decide to
vigor.
meet them first in public? Maybe at a bar again. And see if they know. That will help us decide whether we can surprise them and stop them.
Is anyone
Or-
here rather good at reading people?
That's psychology, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that psychoanalysis?
Psychology.
Psychology.
I talk to a lot of people. I feel like I'm pretty good at getting a sense of them.
We could try meeting them
But will we have time?
in a more public place. We've got time. We've got a couple days before we leave.
I suppose.
We can invite them to dinner
Yes.
or lunch.
Or lunch. Or afternoon tea.
I
But
do like to
somewhere
hear
where
that.
there's light, daylight,
Or
in the presence of many people.
Yeah, let's see how they look.
well, I forgot to mention that was one of the things Ricardo got in the morning when he was going by the market. He got the machete, a hunting knife, and a string of garlic.
A string of garlic.
Sure.
Georgie?
Georgie's kind of looking over like the gold's like staff or whatever it is, trying to see if there's anything on it, like any markings or anything.
You see that it is imprinted with a handful of geometric shapes, mostly squares and rectangles. Looking at them, they don't resemble any sort of language you've seen of or heard of. Actually, as you stare at it, you realize it seems to be, the edges almost seem like they are part of a bigger whole. Almost as if someone had taken this chunk out of a larger image.
And Ricardo's like, is it noticeable to Ricardo that Georgiana's like going over this?
Oh, yeah.
gold thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's got it in her presence. She's got her the book she had been reading about the anacondas, the letter that they gave her for like, who to meet. She's got it flipped over to the backside and she's like sketching out like the symbols on it.
Okay. Well, Ricardo in that case is gonna try to be a over the shoulder observer and see if he can if he notices or whatever anything about the symbology or whatever on the object. Would that be like, what would that be? Would that be a cult or?
You could do an
Professor-
occult roll.
Professor Castellano, would you just like to look at it?
Florence is reading from the translated note that was found. The men pried out a large section of the gold, exhausting themselves in the attempt.
I didn't want to impose. But I mean, yes, it'd be easier for me to look.
Yeah, just here, take it.
Oh,
Take it.
that's so
Professor,
heavy.
while you do that, do you mind if I look at it as well? And I stand directly over your shoulder the way you're standing over George.
Ricardo goes, yes, here. And he turns around and like holds it and like kind of pushes it into your chest. Or
Oh
you can
God, my
both look
tiny
at it.
hands. I'm gonna do an archaeological.
Sure.
Looks so much bigger in my tiny hands.
I'm gonna
Archaeological.
keep an eye out the window just in case somebody's watching us.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
So
Hard success and extreme success.
So, we'll start with your archaeology roll. You can tell this is quite old. You've seen things that have been artificially aged before. This is definitely not it. You can tell, you agree with Georgie's assessment that it is some sort of piece to a larger whole. I believe that's all you could know from archaeology.
Can I tell how old that skin is? You said there's burnt skin on it?
Mm-hmm.
Since I'm an archaeologist, I know what old flesh looks like. Can I at least know how recent, generally, the flesh is compared to like mummies or shit?
I will say you can tell that it wasn't a mummy of any sort, but I'm going to say there's not enough skin to really do a comprehensive analysis or anything like that. But you don't think it was any sort of like ancient anything like that.
Can I segue that into a history roll to try to place it contextually? Now that I know how old it is.
You can try for the metal, for the gold.
Extreme success.
Okay. So, first, for Ricardo, with your occult roll, it's hard to say for sure, but you've recalled reading things about wards, about things designed to prevent access or to keep something inside of something else. And the segmented nature of this, mixed with what was written by Figueroa, makes you think that, as Dr. Angus said, if you consider this to all be real, that perhaps this piece was originally meant to help contain something, and perhaps Figueroa and his people broke something when they left. For you, Gus, you definitely can place the metal to the 15th or 16th century. You can tell this is definitely about 300 or so years old. Yeah, outside of that, though, you don't know. You don't recognize any of the symbols from any book you've read or any language you've studied.
Okay, Keeper. In a moment, which is only once again probably going to further embolden Florence, I am now starting to get really antsy about all that Midnight Society stuff, and going to spend the rest of the night writing a letter to my father, who's a prominent member. God, it's going to embolden him about what's happening and telling him that it's going to come to him. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to believe. But it's going to come to him or the society to get into contact with me. Because I don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow, if I'm alive. And that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the night. And I'll leave it. I don't know if it'd be customary to leave it with like a hotel person to mail it for me or whatever. I do whatever is commonsensical.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you would leave it at the front desk. In this case, of the Hotel Mari, and they would see to it. I will say you do not know when they would receive the letter,
Yeah,
because
that makes
unfortunately the
Post
20s
is
did
pretty
not
slow.
have international mail very quickly, but they
I
will
also
receive
make-
it.
Gotcha. I also make a note as I'm doing it. I ask my compatriots if they want me to write a letter on their behalf or if they want to be included in this letter. Although I don't get into the specifics of it, just so that there's another trail of their existence beyond.
Certainly you can.
Okay.
Letter to what? Well, I mean, running
To my
home
father.
Well, what do I don't know your father.
That's
Florence
probably
will
for the best.
leave a message with the front desk of our hotel to send word to Mr. Larkin and Mr. De Mendoza that we would like to have lunch with them tomorrow.
Okay. Is there anything else that you all wish to do this evening?
Georgie will just make sure that the back of the envelope sheet, or not the envelope, the letter sheet we're writing on is like the symbols are exact match, just to make sure that she's got it. And then she'll try and figure out like what do we do with
Florence will
this.
take a picture of the gold.
That is much wiser to do.
You are able to do so?
I need to get a camera. Of so much more convenient.
I did break your last one. Sorry.
I had forgotten about that until you brought it up.
I paid you. You spent it on that ridiculous costume.
I did not at all. So what are we doing with this thing until then? Because like, assuming this might be the same thing that they discussed in the letter, um, perhaps somebody could be after it. I mean, it's very impractical to lug around.
It's a vampire weapon. The burnt flesh means that vampire skins can't touch it because it's holy, so it's our secret weapon. There, that's my crazy theory going by everything.
I would think that there may be some credence in that because it was left behind after the girl got murdered.
So we're gonna take it with us.
Yeah.
Anyone have a backpack? Maybe put it in there.
I
You have
didn't think
backpacks.
to get a backpack.
What? Georgie.
This is my first expedition, Gus.
Get yourself a
I have
nice roomy
extra.
satchel.
I will go see if I can find one. Oh good lord. What are we gonna do with this thing for while we're meeting?
You can keep it with me. I'll have my maid keep an eye on it.
Good, because I don't know what else to do with it, and if it's helpful for us, it's always good. Jasper,
Yes.
wait, what do you think of all this?
I think sometimes nature fights back when we mess with things. And I do think that Mr. De Mendoza deserves whatever it is that's coming to him.
So
Having said that, I will be staying in my room for the rest of the night. Please knock before you open the door.
perhaps we should have like a knock we all know, so it's like it can't be copied or replicated.
Perfect.
Oh, we can use the knock from my old fraternity, and he just punches the table 3 times really hard. That's the knock. That's the secret knock.
It's very loud and violent.
We had issues.
Jasper, what kind of country is this from where people don't knock before they enter the room of someone else?
It's the kind where people who do that get shot.
Indeed.
Well, yes, but I mean, so you shoot a lot of people there?
I certainly do shoot a lot of people.
Oh, well, I'm glad someone knows how to use a gun around here.
You know what? You know what, Ricardo? I'm gonna eat that insult because I have to. But you don't
It's
have nice
okay.
shoes.
Oh, I thank you. They're going to be for the jungle, so
Yeah, that was a bad insult. I owe you 2 good insults now.
It's okay. I'm no good with the gun either. You know, that's what we have Jasper
Stop
for.
saying it like that. It's how you use it.
Okay, it sounds like you all are wrapping up your evening. So, we will skip forward until the next day. There, you do receive word back from the Hotel España that Augustus will be able to meet with you towards the mid-afternoon, so around, we'll say 2:33 p.m. Is there anything that you all wish to do before then?
Georgie is taking Miss Florence's advice and going to find a satchel.
I'm going to go with her because when Florence went out with her maid the day before, they saw the good places that weren't ripping everybody off. Little off the beaten path and not on the big, main strips where the tourists go.
I'm gonna go to the library and read up on what are they called again? I wrote that down.
CoC7e?
The CoC7e and look for like weaknesses, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think Ricardo is gonna tag along because he likes to read and he's not looking for more slugs.
Okay, so those of you going to the library, I need you to make me a library use roll.
That's a hard success.
Success.
All right. All right. So, we'll start with you two. You together, you are able to find some written language, some written documents on the legends of the CoC7e. You find fire is effective. You find that most other weapons are also effective. Bullets seem to kill just as easily as, enough force would say a bladed weapon or things like that. You do find while reading that the CoC7e are known for being able to steal or to consume the fat to heal. Specifically, you learn that some of the older CoC7e are known to be able to be incredibly resilient. Not so much in terms of physical hardiness, but in the ability to recover from things. You do not find something that would stop that from happening, from whatever you're looking up. So for Florence and Georgie, if you are looking for a simple knapsack, I will say you can find that without too much of an issue. If there's something more specific you're looking for, we may need to do some rolls.
Yeah, she's just looking for something that's going to carry that heavy piece of gold.
Okay. You are able to find some bags. Yes.
Sorry. Is it clear in the library use whether it's just fat or like it has to be human fat?
Just fat.
Okay.
You are able to find a number of different bags, Georgie. Some over the shoulder, backpack style, others across the body. You could buy whichever you'd like. They're all of similar prices.
She'll get one that goes across. Or the backpack.
Are you bringing this piece of gold around with you? Okay.
No, it's been secured, hidden in Florence's room, and her maid is keeping an eye on it.
All right, sounds good. Are there any conversations you two wish to have?
I'm about to buy some poison. I'm about to poison some chicharron and carry it around with me, just in case. That's what I'm gonna do.
Florence looks at Georgiana and says, "Are you all right, dear?"
been a little much for my first expedition. I was just anticipating a mosquitoes, large reptiles, poison ivy, if that's even a thing down here. That was what I was thinking. Not possibly vampiric leeches. Um, have you ever heard of anything like this?
I've heard of a few wild things, and I'm not going to say I put stock in all of them, but like I said yesterday to Dr. Irons, there's usually a kernel of truth in all superstitions.
I mean, it is the most plausible thing because let's be honest, we haven't even found a lot yet. In the world, animals keep popping up, so who knows?
Right.
Um,
And it's not to say this is necessarily something supernatural. It could be something completely organic, but it's something that we don't know about.
mhm. Um, well, if we can do anything so it doesn't hurt anyone else, I think we should at least stick with the expedition long enough to just ensure that they're not going to harm anyone.
Agreed.
Though I really wonder why, because like as Mr. Hughes said, um, they didn't want Professor Sanchez on the expedition, and I wonder why.
Because he knew too much. They hired people from outside of the country because the locals know too much.
I wonder what else he would have known. Did they take him to the local hospital?
Let's go check on him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because if we can get some information from him, maybe that'll help out in the long run.
Perhaps. Hopefully he hasn't expired.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. Oh, I hope not.
He was not in a good state.
All right.
So we will head to the hospital if anyone else would like to do something while we head that way.
All right. Ricardo and Dr. Angus, anything you two wanted to do?
Well, do we feel like we've exhausted our research options here at the library? Or
I think you've looked into most information you're going to be able to get. You do know the location of the hotel where Mr. Larkin is staying. You could investigate there. You could wait at your own hotel for the others to return.
I don't know. I think maybe trying to go investigate this hotel, especially if we can find his room, might be valuable. Jasper, are you done with the books? Maybe we should.
I believe like I'm done. What do you want to do?
I think we should go maybe see what he left at his hotel.
Well, we can try and pretend that we are locals.
You're going to pretend you're a local?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm tanned enough.
Ah! You're funny. I like you.
No, let's go ahead and look around. Try and sneak in. I think just us two.
Well, nobody else is here.
Yeah. Well, no, I
Okay.
mean, I think just us two would be good because a big group would get caught.
That's a good point, yes.
All right. It sounds like Ricardo and Jasper are making their way to the Hotel Espana. As you arrive, you find the hotel itself is rather small, boasting about 12 rooms split across 24 floors. As you make your way through the busy street, you find there isn't a front desk, but there is an elderly woman wearing a shawl, her white hair tied up with a walking stick, who's sitting in a chair. What do you all want to do?
we're in the room already then?
You're in the hotel, the equivalent of the main lobby. It's not quite a lobby, but it's that
Okay.
room, that space.
Well, since there's nobody immediately visible, Ricardo's going to carefully
Do
make
we
his
even
way.
know what room they're in?
Ricardo's going to carefully make his way over to the front desk to see if he can look on the registry to find out where the person was at.
So as you see, there is an elderly woman sitting in a corner, and as you approach, she does look at you all and go, "Hello. If there's anything I could do for you, we have a few rooms left. Would you like to purchase any of them?"
I'm actually looking for a good friend of ours, Mr.
Oh,
Larkin. Yes.
one of the foreigners. There is room, and the other one is up on the top floor. It's the only.
is on the
They're using
floor?
the only occupied rooms on that floor. So they're right next to each other.
I see. Is it all right if we go up and greet them, or is there?
Roll a persuade check.
Let's see.
Aha! Talk about lucky.
You may.
Like terribly all this time.
You may go up if you like.
I wouldn't want to
Just-
bother you. You seem very tired, and we do really need to talk to them.
You may go. Just remember not to cause any problems for any of the guests, and if you wish to stay overnight, you will have to purchase a room. We do not allow people to share rooms.
Of course. Unless they are married.
Yes, of course. All right.
Ricardo?
Absolutely. Let's go. Let's go get her. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
No problem. No problem. All right, and you all are making your way up the stairs. The two middle rooms you would be able to very quickly realize belong to De Mendoza and to Larkin. The other two have the doors open and are empty. Are you guys knocking on the door, or are you doing something different?
I'm going to listen for sounds of life.
That's probably a good thing to
So,
do.
sounds
I'm gonna
ominous
look
when you put
at
it
the
that
door.
way.
I'm gonna look at the door itself and the surrounding area to see if there's anything out of the ordinary.
Okay. Roll a listen roll to listen. Ricardo, looking at the doors, they seem normal to you. They are made out of solid wood. They're decorated plainly, but reasonably. This hotel is nowhere near a high class one, but it's doing all right.
Okay. But then the handle doesn't look like it's been tampered with or anything strange like that.
No, not from what you can tell.
Okay.
Jasper, you listen at each of the doors. Don't hear anything.
Quiet. Ricardo, do you remember what I said about knocking first or else we'll get shot?
Did you have a key? I don't have a key.
We can try and pick it.
You're gonna pick it. Are you gonna knock first, or are you gonna pick it first?
I'm asking you.
I can't pick it. That's not.
I'm asking you what you think we should do, Ricardo. Pay attention.
Oh, maybe you should speak more clearly, and I would understand.
Ricardo, your accent slips in and out, huh?
Listen, I'm trying some new things, and I would appreciate it if you would, leave me alone.
So, Ricardo, do you think we should knock, or do you want me to try and pick the door?
Well, why would you ask me if you wanted to pick the door first if you were telling me if we don't knock, we'll get shot?
So just answer my question, man.
Can I have you?
Okay. As he knocks
make
on
a
the door.
luck roll. Can I have you make a luck roll, please? Just whichever one of you has lower luck.
What's your luck?
Mine's 50.
My luck is 65.
Okay.
Make a luck roll for me, Ricardo.
I knocked on the door as I was answering Jasper, by the way.
Just make a luck roll.
Failure.
Okay.
Wow.
So as you are having this conversation, you go to knock on the door. It opens, and you see Augustus Larkin standing there. He is in a state of not quite undressed. His clothing is disheveled. He's not wearing the suit jacket, and through the kind of half buttoned up shirt, you can see he has some sort of tattoo on his chest. His skin is paler. The sweat has caused his clothes to almost be sticking to him. And he looks at you all. Jasper and Cordano, is there anything I can do for you two? I believe we have an agreement for later today.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
I assure you I am fine.
Have you been to the doctor recently?
Maybe need some water?
Make me a medicine check or psychology. Psychology will work as well.
Psychology. Success.
You recognize the behaviors, the look in the eye, and it looks to you like he is in the middle of a drug-induced haze. Almost, I would say without success. No, I would say you can see that he's in some sort of drug-induced haze.
Are you sure you're feeling well? You don't look well.
I'm all right. I would appreciate it if you want to allow me to return to my rest. I will meet you all for lunch.
Let me help you. And I walk him into his room and put him on the bed, like just sort of like guiding him.
All right.
He's weak. He can't stop me. I'm just gonna like push him in.
All right.
He can kick off and scream all he wants, but it's gonna happen.
As you enter, the room is chaotic and unpleasant. His suitcase is spilling soiled clothes or laying across the floor. The room itself is covered in various personal effects. And there's this scent, this reek of stale sweat and sickness. And then that faint, rotten meat smell.
It's coming from him.
It is.
As I'm feeling the guy up, do I feel anything weird? I'm not feeling. I'm like guiding him, but my hands are on him. Do I feel any sort of weird
That was just
body thing that's not normal?
I need an adult.
Something's a little too juicy.
No, he feels normal. Definitely more frail to you. He seems frail, sweaty and sticky, but nothing besides that.
Okay.
Ricardo, Ricardo, have you entered the room?
Ricardo followed right in.
All right. Looking around, you catch a stoppered glass bottle on the nightstand next to a syringe, and you recognize the label on the bottle says heroina.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's the 1920s, right? Hmm. Well, that's concern. He's going to keep that to himself for now, but that's concerning.
Okay. Jasper, what were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say, are you hungry at all? When was the last time you ate?
No, no. I have Mendoza go and bring me something if I'm feeling peckish. I will be
You said
fine.
Mendoza is gone?
Yes, he left a while ago. I appreciate your concern, but I am all right.
I'm going to give Ricardo a look. And what I'm trying to pass on with this look is that, and I'm gonna say, oh, Mendoza is gone? Is to, hey, maybe you should check out Mendoza's room while I talk to this guy over here.
Do we know which room Mendoza's in?
Yes, it's you were told it's the one next to this one.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Are there any doors like that connect the rooms, or it's more of a? Unless,
I would say no. You'd have to leave this room to go into the other room.
okay. All right. Well, I'll go try and do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna get some fresh air.
Yeah. Good luck on that fresh air. I hope you find it.
So Mendoza's room is locked.
Super inconspicuous.
So, are you going to attempt to force your way in?
Yes.
All right. You can attempt to force the door open or try and pick the lock. Which choice would you like to make?
Should that be a locksmith, right?
Yes, it would.
Well, I think my odds either way are pretty much just as awful. Although I think it's a little less awful with strength. Yeah, go for it. He doesn't know how to pick locks. He wouldn't try to do that. He might try to like see if he could jimmy the door open with like the hunting knives that he has. But other than that, he's just trying to like kind of ham-fistedly force his way in.
It's your choice. All right. Do you want to spend any luck on the roll?
Yes, actually. Let me go ahead and...
You would need to spend 23 points to get a success.
That's what I was going to do, so...
All right. You first attempted to kind of force it open, and you quickly realize you don't have the strength for it. So as you kind of take a step back and lower your shoulder, aiming for kind of the inseam where the door and the wall meet, you slam into it, and the door springs open. You can hear the wood splinter, and you can immediately tell that it is going to be very obvious that someone has forced their way into this room. But as you look around, you find that De Mendoza's room is almost the exact opposite of Larkin's. This room is immaculate, almost as if no one has ever been inside. The bed is made, there's no personal effects, no clothing spread out. If you didn't know better, you would think that this room was one of the empty ones. It isn't until you take a step inside that you see something poking out from beneath the mattress.
Okay, okay. Ricardo's going to carefully make his way over to. Does the bed itself have is it built on say drawers, or is it just empty space on the bed?
It's empty space underneath a person. You'd think a person could probably crawl under.
Well, before Ricardo gets too far, too close, he's going to squat down to try to look under the bed.
Okay. As you look under, you find a. It looks like a golden mask, approximately 6 inches square, and it depicts some sort of stylized face made of kind of blocky shapes.
Interesting. Ricardo's going to go over and gently lift up the mattress.
Okay. So you pick up the mattress. You can get a clearer look at it, and you realize this is not a. You don't know if this is actually a mask. The back of it is perfectly smooth and polished to the point that it is almost like a mirror. And you can see clearly that the design makes it look like a straight solid surface, but there's no eye holes. There's no spot that you would use to cover a face to look through it.
What would you say to try and I don't know, see how familiar what I could find out about this? Would it be history, occult, or
Archaeology?
Archaeology. Okay. Well, we can try. It's probably not going to work, but it's still a piece of interest. So, yes, he's definitely going to fail that. Yeah. So okay. Hmm. Yeah, and you said there's nothing else in the room that looks like anybody's been here at all. Even if I go over and look in the dressers, a cabinet, whatever, there's no clothing, no
Inside the dressers, you do
toiletries.
see clothes, but they're all perfectly folded. It's almost like the room has been sanitized.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, I'm going to put the mattress back down and make it so that it covers the mask a little bit better, so that it's not just easily visibly sticking out. And then I'm gonna go back over next door to Jasper.
All right, you leave the mask behind. But Jasper, what are you doing?
I'm just distracting Larkin while also trying to clean up in the guy. Basically, I'm gonna investigate his room in the guise of cleaning it up.
Okay. Roll me a charm roll.
Okay.
Clean up, everybody, clean up.
Clean up.
Okay. As you are kind of looking through things, you realize after about maybe 3 or 4 minutes that Larkin has fallen asleep. As you begin to search the room, you don't find anything of note. You see, you definitely still see the drugs on the nightstand in his clothing, which are all rather dirty, to put it kindly. But there's nothing odd, nothing unusual.
I'm going to leave the room and see Ricardo. I'm going to close the door and I'm going to say, I think we should go.
Jess, I think so. In the other room, there is a strange golden mask. Kind of. I left it.
I think
didn't-
that would be the right move.
Don't know if yes, I wouldn't want to. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think
I
we
think
should
that's
take
the
it?
right move. No. I think we should just leave it. I think we should just leave right now.
Here's a question: do I know that you're related to this Mendoza?
I'm not
character?
related. We just have
You're
the
not?
last name.
Same last name.
We just have the same last name.
Okay.
So, but
Alright.
do I know that you're not related, or
I told you all.
okay? I can't remember what you told me.
Okay. As it sounds like you two are leaving the hotel. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Ricardo has some
Badly is the
reservations.
door wrecked.
What?
How badly is the door wrecked?
It's
It's
broken
very
at,
clear. The lock part, when Ricardo forced its way through, that solid metal part has split the key, the door itself. So it is very clear that it is broken. So with that,
maybe we should take it. Just for safekeeping. Somebody could walk in and.
I don't think that's a good idea. I think he's going to try and us if we try to take that.
What
I
if
don't know
we?
about you.
Well, we could just give it back to him and say we caught someone in his room.
all right, last chance. Are you taking the
right.
mask or leaving it?
Throw it
Ricardo's
even.
gonna take it and he's gonna put it in a like a leather satchel that he's using to
Okay.
carry. It
As
seems like a good place to.
you take the mask, we are going to stop there because there may be something that happens. Well, that will be something for us to investigate in our next episode because we've gone a bit longer than I intended. So we are going to end our story for the week here. I do hope, first of all, thank you all for being here to tell the story with me. And for those of you still watching, thank you for being here to watch it. We'll go ahead and let these wonderful people tell you where you can find them on the internet, and then I'll let you leave. We'll start this time. We'll start with Mama McStabber this time.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. I am Mama McStabber, and you can find me on twitch.tv/McStabber Studios. Tomorrow night, I will be running our Monster of the Month game, which is a Monster of the Week serial game that we've been running now. This will be our 8th session. The crew, imps is what they're called, have been basically investigating some really sus-ass stuff that a Duke of Hell is trying to facilitate to destroy the world, and they've been recruiting allies. So let's check out what they do tomorrow at 8 p.m. on McStabber Studios.
That is a difficulty. Next up, our demon, Shadow Demon.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at InkBloodDemon. You can find some of the paid games I run on Start Playing, and you can find me here. And I also am a sucker for pain, so I play in the Call of Cthulhu game at McStabber Studio, and I let my party down there as well. And I also torment Ree there as well, as is tradition, as God wills it.
That's true. But next up, Ari.
Hi, Mari. You can find me here 90% of my time, tormenting Ree, because again, it is the way. Or you can find me at Twitter at Small Shadow Snack, where I'm not really active, but I'm there. Or I'm over at Blue Sky at Aurelia Crane. Again, don't really use that either. So yeah, really just here.
All right, Glyza, you're up next.
Hey, my name is Glyza. My pronouns are they, he, she, yes, in that order. I'm the guide for the longest running Monster Care Squad actual play called From the Library. You can find me everywhere on the internet by just looking for at Classical Glyza. If you have found a Classical Glyza anywhere, hey, guess what? You found me. I'm the only one. And today I played Jasper Mendoza. I didn't think he'd be a smart person, but here we are.
All right, next, but certainly not least, Sir Monolith.
Yeah, I'm Sir Monolith. You can find me at Sir Monolith on Twitter and elsewhere. Not super active on the social media, so you can mostly just find me here causing problems for Ree.
All right, and with that, our game has reached its conclusion. So please join us again next week at the same time to see what happens next.